damn podcast.
You ready, Jonesy?
No, I'm over there swallowing. We ain't even start the
You ready, Jaleesa?
We ain't even a minute in. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
You know, it's Big Sexy T. Hello, Club Culture family. This is episode 120.
Woo!
120.
Season 6 finale.
We out here. I'm gonna get naked on the couch.
I got Jonesy on the couch with me.
Naked.
I got a special guest with us today. We have Jaleesa, the elephant.
Hi, guys.
It's my mom. It's my mom, guys.
Yeah,
This is
that's one of my
Josie's mom?
It's my
child.
mom.
Okay.
One of my child. One of my children. Jesus.
One of the many. But I'm the favorite.
Oh yeah, when you answer your phone.
Oh. 'Cause and it's crazy. You did not answer your phone today when she needed you to.
Because I was talking to you.
And he had me blowing him up like I'm his baby mama. He gets on my nerves.
My bad, gangster. It was on vibrate. I was paying attention to T because T was talking to me about friendship, you know.
And you was listening. You were a good
Yeah.
listener. I
That's
give you that. You are a
Thank
good
you.
listener.
Okay. Well, while we're on the topic of it, we go ahead and get this out the way. What is you and Jonesy's relationship? How did you all meet each other?
We
I was gonna
met.
curse her out on Instagram before I knew it was her.
Okay. Say your version.
Because she runs the. Can we tell people you run that
Yeah,
page?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It's
she
out
runs the
now.
From Gary page. I think it's called.
Yep.
And I never seen like From Gary out. So I'm like, who the fuck is this posting about Gary? And I forgot what the specific post was, but I was like, all right, I had enough. And I was gonna go DM her, but I didn't. And then like 2 weeks later, boom. We're here.
So, but I never knew that story until later.
Okay.
Yeah, way later.
I didn't know that story until later. So, I run a page called From Gary. It's basically because when Karen was in office, I searched the hashtag Gary, Indiana, and all I saw was Michael Jackson.
Karen, for the people that do not
Oh, I'm
know,
sorry. Karen Freeman. She was the mayor at the time
of Gary. Indiana.
of Gary. I think that was like 2016 when I made the page. So I had like searched the hashtag Gary, Indiana, and all I saw was Michael Jackson.
Okay.
And I felt like, oh, it's definitely more in my city about, than Michael Jackson. So it's just a page where I repost stuff about Gary natives, about what's going on in Gary. People can send it to me, anything Gary related.
Okay.
So I didn't know that until we became acquainted. I think we met D Brown.
Through D Brown.
Yeah, we met through D Brown. And so I do social media management. Jonesy does videography and photography. And D Brown really just connected us. And I mean, ever since then, it's just been like, he's mine. Like, he is my videographer. Like, I'm gonna put him, I put him at anywhere I can. Like, if I call him, I was in Vegas. I think I was still living in Vegas when we met, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, and I could call him and he will pull up and do a video, and I don't have to question him. So, and I guess I'm your manager now.
See, guys, I actually go to work. You hear that? I actually go to fucking work.
So I handle business for him. So I don't know. What are we? I don't know. What are you to me?
Just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're business partners. So there we go. Yeah.
Shout out to Jonesy being dependable.
Hey, we
Yes,
out here.
definitely.
Okay. All right, let's get into it then.
Yeah.
We have a game.
I'm scared.
We have a game. Don't be scared.
Hey man, T ain't no plaything.
Yeah. We got a game. Would you rather fat niggas or skinny niggas?
Oh no, pass. Drink. What's the alternative?
So I'm sure you've heard about this game, but it's called Weird or Null.
Yep.
We're going to give you a headline. You let us know if you think it's weird or null, and you get one sentence to explain why.
Okay.
And I tried to find as many Indiana headlines as possible because, we got the Indianimal in the room with us.
For sure.
You the Indianimal.
I'm a Gary nigga.
They was from Gary, right?
But they got.
Let's not
we
do
go
this
through this all the
debate.
time.
Oh my
They had
God.
to go to Indianapolis
We don't got
to
enough
get
time
inspired.
in the day to
I'm
talk
not a
about
fucking
this.
Indianimal, but we could definitely. I'm not an Indianimal. Whatever the argument is. Next. Okay, let's play the game.
A zoo in China has sparked outrage after visitors caught staff painting other animals and presenting them as pandas. Is that weird or no?
Weird.
Why?
Why do you have the time?
Okay.
You should see the picture. That shit funny as hell. Former Colts offensive lineman accused of urinating on passenger during flight. Is that weird or nah?
Weird. One sentence?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay. All right. Child may have unknowingly distributed THC gummies in Fort Wayne. Is that weird or no?
Nah.
Why?
Put your shit up.
Okay.
She really sticking to this one sentence.
I'm trying.
Indianapolis woman spends $12 and 12 hours at Golden Corral in one day. Is that weird or nah?
Can you reread that?
Indianapolis woman spends $12 and 12 hours at Golden Corral in one day. Is that weird or nah?
Nah.
Why?
She just paid to get in and stayed.
Would you stay at Golden Corral for 12 hours?
Hell, I'm not going. I'm not going. Hell no.
Oh boy. Colleges get rid of grading system with ungrading. Is that weird or no?
Weird. What the fuck? Oh, how do you? No. Stop changing shit.
Okay.
Get that nigga an F.
No,
He
for real.
He earned the F.
That's what's
Give him the
wrong with
F.
these kids. They don't need no participation points.
Yeah, niggas don't fail and flunk no
They
more.
don't, and that's what's wrong with
It
them.
builds
That's why
character.
they entitled.
We just got to put to work.
Drunk woman slams into ex's car several of times in Evansville. Is that weird or not?
It's Evansville. No.
Okay.
Can I get a backstory on that one? Because it's kind of fire.
Okay.
So she crashed into her dude's car or her ex's car. And then she called him and was like, hey, somebody crashed into your car. So he comes outside and the pre-story was they was beefing all day. And I guess he wouldn't come out the house. So that was her way of getting him out the house. Yeah. So he comes out the house and they start arguing and she found that nigga. So he hopped in the car and tried to peel off.
And she hit him again.
Yeah, she chased him down and kept hitting the shit.
I don't know what they was beefing about. For her.
No, for real. How
Yeah.
that deep?
Funny
it was
as
that
hell.
deep. Like that. Like I'm gonna fuck my car up.
Yeah.
We're in Indianapolis again. Oh wait, no, T, it's your turn.
Woman finds burglar in her home wearing her clothes. Is that weird or no?
Weird. You said that was in Indianapolis?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it weird?
Why did you put the clothes on?
Why did he put the clothes on? Like what the
He
fuck?
probably thought he had all the time in the world.
Probably. He probably knew her routine. Like he probably watched her. For you to
Probably.
be that comfortable, he didn't think she was coming back no time soon.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Okay, here we go. New drink banned in Indiana, but legal in Ohio and Illinois. Is that weird or not?
Normal. Nah. Because Indiana fucking will ban anything.
That's fair.
Indiana Dollar Tree urine candle bandit on the loose. Is that weird or no?
Urine candle bandit?
Yeah.
The Dollar Tree urine candle bandit.
I don't even want to know. Oh my God. Is it weird? Which part of Indiana?
I forgot about this one because I did read it, but I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot where they said it was at.
I mean, it's Dollar Tree.
Yeah, but bro
No.
just be going in the Dollar Tree peeing
No.
candles.
I mean, I feel like some weird things happen in Dollar Tree. I want to know the story now, though.
I'm gonna have to find that
too.
link.
I want to know that.
I need the story.
Go ahead, Jones. Do this last one.
Man marrying his own high school gym teacher who all his friends crushed on. Is that weird or not?
Weird, yes. That's really weird.
Why?
No, that's nasty.
Okay.
If it was a man and if it was, I mean, it's happened in Gary a few times, but if it was like a gym coach male and that married a woman later, it would be outrage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's the same idea.
Okay.
I had a high school teacher. What's her name? Because her name deserves to be said for her sickness. She was the AP Lit teacher. I had her. She touched me on my butt before. Had to say something to her. She ended up marrying one of her students. Yeah, that's all I got.
Gee, what the fuck be going on in school? Like, why have I mean, I ain't saying I wanted to, but I'm like, I'd never seen like no weird, creepy teachers.
Well, I mean, I've been seeing a lot of stories in the news, but my biggest question is, what can a 14-year-old do for you?
I never understood that.
Well, then, wait, the dude.
Like I've been seeing a lot of women like having sex with the, young males, like 14.
Okay, you talking about something separate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What can they do for you? I don't get that, but that's a whole nother.
Submit.
True.
Submit?
Yeah.
Do what they say. Yeah. Control. It is about control, I'm sure.
These niggas ain't working for them. They ain't listening to them.
Probably
Exactly.
not. That's the only control they got in their life.
So the candle bandit, he was peeing in their candles, in the Dollar Tree's candles for a month, and they couldn't catch him. He said everyone loves to have scented candles in their home, especially this time of the year.
Oh my God.
Not these.
So how did they? I don't even want to know.
I don't even know why I got my laptop so far.
That's what they get for buying Dollar Tree candles.
I'm glad I lived in Indianapolis for a year. Because I was so naive to Indiana, like outside of Gary, even though I've been all over the world. I was so naive. Just that 1 year, I'm like, okay, all the stereotypes, it makes sense.
Yeah. It's
These
an interesting
motherfuckers are
place.
crazy.
It's an interesting place. It's an interesting place, man.
Extremely.
It is.
And then you don't consider the out of towners either, like the people from Ohio and Kentucky who moved on some new beginning type shit. It's oh God. Let me start it.
Are you were born in Gary, Indiana?
Me, I wasn't born in Gary. I was born in California, but
Now how you find your way out here?
so my mom, it's crazy. My mom and my dad were both born and raised in Gary, and they were stationed in California. And they got together, and I was born out there, and then we moved back here when I was back to Gary when I was like 3. And I moved different. Like my mom was a Navy brat, so she was used to moving. So like I've lived in Michigan, but I always end up moving back with my dad. So I spent most of my life in Gary, so I say I'm from Gary.
Okay.
Mutt.
Oh boy. So are you used to just muting and blocking him out, not really responding? Or do you still?
It really depends.
You gotta pick and choose when to listen to me. You have
it depends on the day or after a conversation we've had, because he'll contradict himself, and I gotta let him know. And I'm like, didn't you just say? And then he'll give his explanation, his Jonesyism.
And then I say, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I did.
And then he
so
be like,
what?
he be like, so the fuck what? Who gonna check me? I'll beat that nigga ass. He'll beat somebody ass over anything.
Okay.
So it just depends on the day, you know?
Well, let's get into it. Let's get to know you a little bit.
Oh, I'm scared.
Stop.
Shit, you scared me. I was like, what the fuck going on?
Am I? Okay. Let me know a little something, Jaleesa.
About me?
About me.
Oh, okay.
Why are you scared?
See,
What do I be doing on this podcast?
You be cooking these niggas.
But it'd be nice. It'd be subtle. Like, I'd be wondering if they catch it until they watch the episode. Like,
T, read her.
like
That's what the kids say.
She be like, really, like, I'm like, damn. And she do it so good. And I'm like, damn, I need that skill, because I get loud and people know. You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes, like, your comments, sometimes I'm like, did they catch that? Like
what do you mean by did they? What am I doing?
I don't even think you being shady. It's just like, you'll be like, I mean, just like, like the normal male or something like that. Not necessarily that, but you'll say something and it's like, I don't feel like people really,
I know what you're talking about.
comprehend.
Because I can't let them know my superpower.
Yeah, it's like your afterthought or something like that. I think that people don't really catch it. Cause it ain't normally like in the middle of the conversation. It's like when y'all about to transition to a different topic. And then I'm like, damn, I be looking like, am I the only one? Sometimes I rewind that shit like, hold on. Like, so it's not I'm scared. It's just like, I got to be on my P's and Q's.
Yeah. It's a gift and a curse, because people also are intimidated to talk to me because I'm going to give it to you and make you have to keep repeating yourself. Make sure you heard what you just said and you stand by that, because you sound dumb as hell.
I was gonna say, and another thing you do that I love is like you repeat what people say.
Yeah.
Everything that they said, but you make them be like, well, shit, that don't make sense.
Yeah.
Because you ain't thinking what you said, dumbass.
You're like, so what you're saying is, and I'm like, well, god damn.
I appreciate that you picked up on it. I don't know if everybody will, because it does require some intelligence.
Yeah. It'd be funny, but it's not. And what I like about the podcast period is when y'all don't disagree with somebody on here, it's not disrespectful. Yeah. And it's not like, okay, well, shut up, you wrong, like. And that's something that everybody doesn't hold. And even on Facebook, people be talking about, oh, well, your mama, like, okay. Like people get mad because you don't agree with them. Like they try to deflect, like, oh, well, you was lame in high school. Okay. But you're still wrong, Because
the answer is still 125.
So I'm not, it just be like, I just like, damn, I don't think people really be even realizing, not necessarily, I don't know. It's like, your style. It's a style. It's not necessarily like it's not bad, but I be cracking up because I'll be like, well, goddamn. Because sometimes I will say like, what's her name?
It's the person that was been on the pod.
The Chris Brown episode.
With Lizzie.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Usually I agree with Lizzie. Mm-hmm. And usually I be going gun ho with her whenever she's on.
Yeah.
And when you eat her up, I be like, shit, I'm glad I ain't there. Like, and you don't be, like I said, it's so graceful. Yeah. It's not rude. It's not, and sometimes she'll give it to you. And then sometimes she'll be like, I said what I said.
Yeah,
I said what I said. I don't care if you just made me think about it. Sometimes she'll bow down, or sometimes she'll be like, nah, I said what I said. So sometimes I'm telling you, I be talking back. I'm like, damn, what would I have done? Would I have shut up? Or I'm like, you right.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I can just be a middle ground. Like I'm a real perspective person. Like I could see your perspective in the other person's perspective.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm not necessarily like, oh no, he was right or he was wrong. I'm just like, well, I've been on both sides, or I can kind of see why he reacted that way if these were the facts he was presented or something like that. Like I'm not really like I'm sorry, y'all. My eyes are watering. I'm not crying. Like I'm not really like a black and white person sometimes, because I know that's not how life really is. Like when people ask like those stupid questions on Facebook, when they're like, well, what would you do if your man, you don't know what the fuck you would do. You just don't know. It's so many moving pieces. So that's, I'm not intimidated, but I'm just saying you be eating them up softly, killing them softly. Okay.
I appreciate the observation.
On this pod.
These are the type of conversations I like to have, because I watch people.
Yeah.
I was just talking to my little sister. I'm like, I understand older people now, how they just sit at the
don't
park
say
and
nothing.
Just watch. Because if you watch, you pick up on people's antics so quickly. People do the same thing. We all have patterns. I have that in my notes. And we'll get to that.
And
later.
patterns don't lie.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell my friends when they ask me about their men. Mm-hmm. Patterns don't lie.
Yeah.
Or even a friend.
Yeah.
Like patterns do not lie.
Let's get
like,
to it.
Let's go.
What are some patterns about just yourself in particular that you feel like it either hurt you or helped you, or both? You give multiple examples if you want to, that you've recognized and you started to work on to change that pattern.
I'll set a boundary, but don't respect it myself. Mm-hmm. Like, especially in like business. And I've been working on that, like, just period. Like I'll say, I tell Jonesy all the time about to quit somebody, but it's because when I first start a client, I give a list of rules, but I'll break the rules myself, or when they break it, I don't correct it. Mm-hmm. Oh, it ain't a big deal. He just did it,
Yeah.
But that one time turns into a normal thing. Mm-hmm. So that's something that, and it's because for me, I feel like it can go to either way. It could be people pleasing. I used to be a people pleaser. Yeah. I used to be a people pleaser. I mean, excuse me. I don't know what it did for me, but I used to be a people pleaser. Like in any way I could be, and if I could get it done, even against, hurting myself, like I'm staying up doing stuff and this person even haven't paid me, or they did pay me, but I gave them a discount, so I really shouldn't be doing no extra. So yeah, setting a boundary and sticking to it in business and personal. Personal, I have gotten a lot. Like personal, I got it.
Yeah.
But sometimes the business can run into my personal. You know, like if I'm doing too much, then it hurts my personal life. So I think that hurts me.
What's something that's helped you?
What's helped me?
Yeah. What's a pattern or?
Double checking.
Okay.
Having receipts.
Okay.
So like, you know, a lot of things. So for me, like I have, like literally a doctor told me I have trauma brain, right? Something,
trauma brain?
Yes.
Okay.
Something traumatic happened. And sometimes I can't remember stuff. And it's even bad. It's like people walk up to me and know my whole name and tell me a whole story that I kind of remember, but I can't remember them. So what I always do is like before I send like Jonesy something, say, hey, such and such said they could meet at something. I go back and I look. Or I'm really good with saying, hey, text me that if they call me.
Yeah.
Because I sound like I know what's going on right now, but I might forget it. So keeping a receipt or having something in writing, it just in the end, you know, people say they didn't say that. So that has helped me a lot. Just stay organized and actually like have a receipt. You know, you never know when you need it.
Yep. Okay. Jonesy, you got one?
I don't know if this falls under patterns, but I used to be real big on like phone calls, like don't text me, call me. And it became detrimental because like y'all said, people will say they didn't say shit. And since I don't got no screenshots or nothing, it's like, well, you probably didn't say this. So now I've became better at texting, even though y'all probably wouldn't agree. And y'all got, you know, y'all don't have to because I'm terrible at it still. But I'm more open to like
you'll text before you answer a call.
Yeah, now, because I'm sick of you niggas.
Because he always got his phone on Do Not Disturb, and I'm notifying anyway.
No, that's a pattern that changed. My phone been off DND for 3 days
now. It wasn't today when I called. That's why I was like, he not answering. It don't even say Do Not Disturb. I was surprised.
3 whole days it's been off.
Okay.
That's probably a record.
Even while I'm asleep. Yep.
That's a record.
It's finna change though, but I'm getting better.
Okay. All right.
Gee, niggas be acting like they be dying, bro. And it's like, no. you not.
No, for real.
You just want to get high at 11 o'clock. You're not dying.
What do you do if you're talking to someone, you're trying to conflict resolve, and it's all just hearsay, or you don't have anything tangible to revert back to know like this is what you said or this is what actually happened? What do you do if the conflict can be resolved because we don't have any trace of history?
Okay, I'll start because I already know what I'll do. Deader to beat you up.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's just what it is. So, I always say that. Okay, you got it.
So my thing is always, what do you want from the conversation? Like if it's what solution? What's the solution, or what's your proposed idea how we move forward? And if you don't have anything and you just want to complain, then you just want to complain. And I think that'll just bring that to the forefront. Like, oh well, I don't know. I'm just mad, you know, or I'm just frustrated, and I can understand that. But what are we going to get out of this? Yeah. So that's usually what I'll say is like, I mean, either way, like even with my kids, I'm like, well, I didn't understand it like that. Sometimes my daughter say, oh, Ma, I told you. And I mean, even my daughter know to put stuff on my calendar, like not being funny. Like if you really want me to do something, put it on my calendar. So, or she'll say, I asked you and you said, yeah. And then I'll say, I probably told you to remind me. Yeah. So we can do this for 5 more minutes or here's the options, you know? So that's usually what I'm asking. Like, what's your, what would be your preferred solution?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do we move forward?
Yeah. Going back and forth is not going to do nothing.
Yep. Me and Jonesy talked about this probably 2 episodes ago. Just like a lot of people lack intelligence, and it's beyond just reading books. Emotional intelligence,
yeah.
And what comes emotional intelligence is to be able to distinguish if you're complaining and you don't actually know what you want, or you actually do and you just don't know how to communicate it.
Exactly.
I don't think a lot of people know how to communicate their wants.
Did you see that clip? I just shared it on Facebook. The clip about the lady saying how people don't know how to express themselves. We're only taught mad, sad, and angry. And a lot of people are trying to heal, but they can't explain what their feelings are. So you're trying to heal from something that you can't explain. And if you can't explain it, then you can't heal from it.
Yes.
I don't know if I don't know what she was, a psychiatrist or what, but that was the best way that I've ever heard it be explained, because not even necessarily just the emotions. I feel like in a Black culture that we were told that we were to, as children, we were told that we were to be seen and not heard. And we didn't have an opinion about anything. And we didn't have feelings about anything, especially Black men. Stop acting like a baby, stop crying, stop, you acting like a little girl when they express how they feel, or, when they fall and they react. They not even supposed to cry if they fall. So I think that we were suppressed for so many years. I know for myself, for sure, I didn't learn effective communication until I was in corporate America.
Got you.
I was sending out these emails and they would write back like, well, what time? Or something. And I'd be like, well, damn, I could have put that in the first email, and then I started to teach myself like, okay, I don't want them to have to ask no questions. Let me read this email, what, when, where, why, and alternatives if this conference room is not available or whatever it may be. But I promise I didn't get that skill like a lot of people are able to, because, although people say, oh, well, white kids talk crazy to their parents, they're usually able to express themselves.
Yeah. And we call that talking crazy to our
Yeah.
I don't know. I was in the military with some of them.
No, they do talk.
No, they
I was
do.
gonna
But
say, I don't know.
Yeah, but I just feel like for my kids, my mama say my kids talk back to me. But I don't say they talk back to me, because I let them say or explain themselves. Because sometimes I'm fussing at them and I did do it, or I did tell them da-da-da-da. And it's not valid, like it's not, I don't see it as talking back. I see it as them expressing themselves. Now, if they get smart, that's different. But if they just saying, oh, well, I already did that, Ma, or I was going to do it after this because you said da-da-da, I don't see that as talking back.
Right.
I allow them to do that. It's not a disrespectful tone. It's not anything like that. And it really helps with problem solving. If you speak up and you say, oh, well, I didn't do it because I thought da-da-da-da, maybe what she thought could be right and maybe it's wrong. It might be a life lesson, that. I mean, that's what I allow my kids to do, but it's not disrespect.
And as long as they thinking, they using their brain.
Exactly.
So
And that's what it usually, it's a conversation.
Yeah.
It's usually a conversation. It's not like, oh, I was going to do it later, or I'll do it later. It's not like no attitude. It's just them speaking their mind, like talking back to me, not talking back. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like us having a conversation. It's really us having a conversation. They don't necessarily think they my equal, but sometimes they just explaining something or reminding me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we are all pretty aware that our parents they come from a traditional mindset.
Yeah, it's different, and that's okay. Like, I don't have a problem with that, but it's just like my mama over it now. But at first she's like, oh, they just talk back to you, and she's over it now. But I don't have a problem with explaining to my parents or to somebody else why I allow my kids to do certain stuff. I just don't have. And if you don't agree with it, that's fine. But
they're not your kids.
Yeah,
Boom.
They're not your kids, and that's why we was fucked up. Because, like I said, I mean, even in the workplace, I used to be scared to speak up for myself because I was told,
speak on it.
Like, you gotta get that. I had to get that confidence and even speak up to, for myself, because authoritative figures we were disrespectful if we said something back to them. Yep. I mean, forever, even right now, I was just into it on Facebook with my cousins, my older cousins.
I was watching that.
Was I wrong?
No.
Okay.
I was watching that though.
I deleted their comments. Was I wrong? Okay. I told them to send. I said, I literally replied. I said, show this to 10 people and ask them, was I wrong?
Okay.
Because I didn't agree with what they said, I was being disrespectful, and they both told me, you could block me. And I'm like, y'all clearly old and don't know how Facebook work, because I don't need permission to block you, first of all. Second of all, block me.
Just delete me.
Yeah, if you don't, delete me.
That shit was funny as hell.
I was like,
she was like, I don't think it's deep enough to block you, but you could block me if you feel that way.
That's what I said. I was like, it's not that deep. I'm like, y'all not gonna bully me to block you. Yeah. And then y'all calling my daddy. My daddy gonna be calling me. I promise you, my phone is probably ringing right now. Like, I knew it's a little delayed, but my daddy gonna call me about it today. It just don't make sense. It was nothing. Like, it was not that big of a deal. And let me tell you, I got a smart mouth. And past years, it probably would have got a little disrespectful. Today, I handle myself very well. I read it multiple times and was very proud of myself. So, and Jonesy said I'm not wrong.
Nah. Ooh, that's something else I practice. Like, when it comes to text and it's some bullshit, I don't respond after the first read because I normally would. I could sit with things now, even if it's somebody on some bullshit. I could sit with it now.
Yeah.
Because I used to be like, I'm not reading all of that. Come see me.
I can't stand you niggas.
That burn me up when somebody tell me they not reading all of that. Yeah. But I will say I was almost gonna be childish and say that to my cousin today, but I just didn't. I said, let me stop.
But it's the thing, it'll be niggas that would do that. Like women would to this last one. Like I would never like argue or like
go
get
back
like
and forth.
long like texts. It's always been niggas.
But sometimes all of that can be avoided by a phone call.
Exactly.
Like, because a lot of times people take stuff in the wrong tone in text message. Like I have a dry sense of humor. So if you don't know me, you can't read my tone sometimes. So you'll try to take it as offense. And I'm just like, when I say it, you'll be like laughing. But when I text it, you offended, you know? So sometimes I just pick up the phone. I'm like, I'm not about to keep texting you and we about to argue and I'm joking or I'm laughing about this shit. Like,
and then that's when it gets worse.
Not usually for me. Usually if we talking and you can hear my tone, then you know, number one, I really ain't bothered. Like, I'm not bothered by it. Or number two, I was being funny. Like, sometimes that's probably something that I laugh about everything. Like, sometimes it don't be the time to make a joke. But if you hear me, you'll probably laugh versus me texting you. So that's why I usually just call.
Could have avoided
Must be nice. Y'all just have nice little combos with people. Don't nobody call me.
They just keep texting.
No, they scared. They don't even try to text me.
I could see that. I could see that.
Well,
I could definitely see that. Like, you won.
if it makes you feel better, I only majorly get pressed or checked in group chats. Like, no one's ever delivered a one-on-one message to me on some I don't like this fuck you ass shit. It's always like a performance thing where like, oh, I sunned him. It's like, nigga, let's move on. Let's move on.
All right. I want to get into your professional background. You talked a lot about professionalism, corporate America.
Whew.
Where did you went to college, right?
Yes.
Where did you go?
Indiana Tech. So, I started medical assistant. I don't know why I did that. I was just following the trend. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So it's like, oh, that sound good. A girl, were they trying to get me to do that blood? I passed the class.
Yeah.
If somebody dying, I might be able to get you an IV going. But baby, that was a lot. I was like, oh, I'm in the wrong field.
Yeah.
So I went and I got my bachelor's in business administration. I was gonna go to law school. That's the only reason why I wanted a degree. I was gonna go to law school. I didn't end up going. I did get accepted, but I didn't end up going. And then I fell into marketing. So I fell into marketing. My best friend was launching a cosmetic company. She paid 2 people to do her website and they didn't do it. And I'm like, girl, don't pay nobody else. We about to figure out this drop and drag situation. So I made my first website on GoDaddy. People loved it. Like, girl, I was charging $50 for websites. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. And so I started doing websites. And then, of course, she did social media, right? So I fell into doing that. And that's when I fell in love with marketing. So I kind of did it backwards. I got a client and then I went back and got training. Gotcha. Like, I went through all these trainings, like Facebook ads. I did all these like free certificates just to kind of understand it, you know? And yeah, here I am today. I say, seriously, I've been taking it about 7 years.
Okay.
Email marketing, social media ads, any digital marketing platform. I can edit video a little bit, but I usually start it and then call Jonesy. I'm like, Jonesy, I'm annoyed, but this is what I want. And he does exactly what I want. But yeah, that's where I am today. I have clients for beauty, personal branding, a restaurant, a retail store,
bars, real estate,
a bar, real estate. We a little bit of everything. We trying to.
So when y'all niggas look at me crazy, like, you don't shoot music videos, because we deal with businesses.
Yeah, we actually doing real business. So
that's why.
Yeah. So that's my background. A little bit of everything. Like, but I'm learning that I don't gotta do everything. You know, that's one thing that I like on and off in business. I learned to do a lot of things because I hate waiting on people. Yeah, I hate paying people for stuff and then end up having to do it myself. Yeah, or paying people for stuff and you don't do it in the time you said you were going to do it. I'm a creative, so I understand that sometimes. Yeah. Excuse me. I thought that's what you oh, you get on my nerves. I'm a creative, so I understand sometimes that creating on a deadline can be hard, but tell me that, you know, like, hey, I don't got the idea, I can't get the vision, you know, just so yeah, that's my background. I do a little bit of everything. And then wait a minute, I done fell into managing 2 DJs.
Yeah, she's a DJ manager now.
Yeah, my really good friend Boogie, we've been friends for a long time. And he used to always like, manage me. You might as well be my manager. I used to run his social media. Yeah. He like, manage me. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? No. Because he was hard-headed then. Like, he would not listen. Like, he was a different version of who he is today. I'm like, no, I'm not managing you. I will cuss you out. Like, no. And then he used to post crazy stuff. He still posts crazy stuff, but it ain't that crazy. You know, like, it's part of his brand now, dang near. People expect that. And then I don't know. That's been about we might be at the 5-year mark. I am horrible with time, with concepts of time. I would say probably 5 years. I've been managing him for about 5 years. And then Super, he was on here. Yeah, DJ Super was on here. What, we like a month in with Super, maybe?
About a month.
Yeah, about a month in with Super. So yeah, I fell into it. I ain't taking no more clients. Don't ask me. That's a lot. Like, managing is a lot. Managing is a lot. No, thank you. Like, I love them too, and that's it. Like, I'm cool. Like I said, I fell into those two. So yeah, now I'm a DJ manager.
Yeah, to all the DJs out there who don't got no manager, who tired of going to bars, not getting paid on time, not in the videos.
Oh, who gonna be their manager?
Never mind.
Said she don't want anybody else. You was supposed to put more on her plate.
Yeah, come on.
See, boundaries.
Come on.
I'm not doing it. You can join the VDBL though.
Come to Elephant Row.
No. Not Elephant Row. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
What brings you the most joy out of what you do your day to day?
Me.
No.
People accepting the message that I put out, or the reaction is what I expected. Okay. Like yesterday, so I manage a DJ league too, but I do the marketing management. I'm not like the manager. So yesterday I put out the rankings of the DJs. So like after every competition, is called Spin Wars. We do a ranking of, you know, basically where you fall at. So the number one rank is this is the second time he's been number one. All the other ones have been this other DJ named DJ Sounds by Cam. He is a shit talker. Shit talker. I mean, like, big shit talker. So what I did was I was like, I named all the DJs and gave them like a little message, right? I'm like, hey, we know you gonna rise to the top. You know, DJ Like Mike, that's who is the number one right now. It's the second time being number one. You know, we see you. I left Cam out on purpose.
Okay.
At first, I was trying to make a message, but Cam is the type of person like, I'm number 2. I don't give a fuck. I'm mad. You know what I mean? It don't matter. Like, so I left him out on purpose. I was like, let's start some shit. So I left Cam out on purpose, and he took the bait. Yeah. Oh, he shared it talking about the underdog left out or something. So I commented back from the page, go play the drums with a violin. Yeah. So I just like stuff like that. And then like when I do a campaign and it's like people kind of get my language, you know, because like one thing about AI, they don't talk black.
No.
So it's like I really try to like with my captions in our campaigns, I really try to like give that urban messaging for the correct customer, you know, if that's their brand voice. And I just love when like it's received or people like comment and that I know that they got it. Because sometimes I get in my head about it, like I'll send Jonesy like, you get this, you understand this, but then I'd be like, well, he understand because, you know, because like he kind of looking at it from a different view. So I'll ask like like one of my friends who don't do marketing or something. So that's when I love it. And then another thing I love is when somebody be like, I know Jaleesa did this. Like, I love that.
Dope.
Okay, call it Blue Magic. Gonna name brand a dope.
Bro. I'm glad it's the last episode, man.
You need a break. You need a break.
It's been me and him for like fucking 5 weeks now.
We out here, man. I'm holding you down.
Appreciate it.
I got you.
Oh boy. All right. So I'm put you on a hot spot.
Oh God.
Me?
No, you're not the guest.
I don't got my glasses on, so anytime your head is
It's
turned
going
to the
this
left,
way. You don't know who she's
I don't know
looking
who
at.
you looking
That's
at or what's
ridiculous.
going on.
My bad. So, Miss Marketer, you have all the evidence and work out there to draw reference from. What would you do to grow our audience? What would you do differently than what we're currently doing? And try to measure from before Jay left. Because when Jay left, I got sick. So I couldn't keep up.
Post more when it's not an episode. Like engaging stuff on the story. But I feel like I used to do that. I feel like you used to do that way more. I think that's the missing piece. Like not necessarily just about the episode. And then I think y'all used to also do like videos of just saying, come watch the podcast, little stuff like that. So like when y'all record, like after today, you know, y'all record, hey, come watch the podcast, or ask some crazy questions, you know, like maybe keep some of the questions, like even like about, of course, the hot topic right now is what, Diddy?
Yeah.
Yep.
And you could even record that at home. Like, hey, what y'all think about Diddy? Y'all see the news, what y'all think about Diddy? And post that instead of like on like a short form like Twitter or something like that. Post a video and then get people to say comments and stuff like that, or get this fool to say his comment, you know, on video. This is what I think. Oh Lord, who knows what he would say about it. But I think just the engagement, I think that's the missing part, because when I first started watching, y'all really, I feel like y'all had a community.
Yeah.
And I feel like that community is not talking anymore. No. They're probably they may be watching, but I don't feel like they're talking anymore. And maybe do like, you know, like a weekly question or something like that. I think that it just needs to be a little more engagement and community growth outside of, hey, we got a new episode.
Yeah. Yeah. It had to turn into just, hey, we got a new episode because I can't keep up. I'm too sick.
And that's what happens. Even not even being sick, just life. And then also when you like, I have a lot of clients who like compare themselves to like, you know, big companies, right? Those big companies have big teams. And that's what people don't realize. When it's just you and another person, or just you sometimes, you know, when it's yours, you know? So it doesn't matter that mama is sick, you know, to 10 people, if my mama is sick, okay, I can kind of push my stuff off to somebody else. To 2 people, if your mama is sick and you usually do A, B, and C, this person might not be able to take that A, B, and C. So I think that that's the realistic thing that we have to really realize, is that these, like every time I talk to a podcaster, they be like, Joe Budden. First of all, Budden been out how long? Like
Years.
How long? Do you think Budden does anything but sit his ass down, talk and get up? Not no more. I mean, before I know he was kind of into, you know, the background. That's all he does. He and leaves. He might comment, you know, he might have access to their page. He might not. He's not doing none of that. So that's what I always try to tell people, like, be realistic on what you have, you know, and everybody don't always got money to go hire nobody either. So, y'all could prepare that for next season, you know, do it when you're better, when you feel good, Make it count.
We'll talk about it in the Patreon. What you should look forward to for club culture, but a lot of changes will be happening.
Okay.
Would you be surprised if I was to tell you that all of this and all that has happened as far as growth and social media and going viral was just 40% Jay, 60% me just editing? That's it.
Oh, I know. Because I remember when I first realized that Jonesy was on the podcast, I don't know. I can't say. I'm trying to remember. I don't even know if I thought Jonesy was just sharing the podcast at first. I didn't know the nigga was on the podcast. So I'm like, this nigga share this podcast a fucking lie. Let me go look at this page. Yeah. I don't even think I understood that he was on the podcast. And then I remember one time I was at BBQ and I seen it on the I seen the sticker. Yeah. And I said, well, goddamn. I love stuff like when I say I love little things like that, like because I feel like we've gotten away from those traditional marketing things. Yep. I love stuff like that. So
and they keep taking them down.
They're going to a soliciting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still gonna do it.
Yeah, still put it up
dirty
there.
ass bit. Let me shut up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, chill on BBQs.
I mean, I'm going. I was there. I was there to see the sticker. So I'm just saying, like, you acting like it's hurting the building or something. You know what I mean? I'm just saying it's a little rough looking out there, but I'm going to get my fries. So yeah. So what I was gonna say is when I first started looking at it, I think I didn't understand that Jonesy was like a permanent I thought he was just like on it, you know? Mm-hmm. And then, cause at first he did just come on a few times and then he became permanent. Yeah. So I don't know where my timeline was when I started watching, but I asked Jonesy, I said, who does y'all stuff? Cause I loved the branding. I went on the website. I loved the website. And I love the consistency in the branding. Everybody don't look at stuff like that, you know. Of course, that's my brand. Yeah. But I loved the branding. Like, I'm not being funny. I really thought y'all was a big podcast. Like, y'all a big podcast to me. Yeah. No shade. But, yeah, I thought y'all was really like a big podcast. For real. Like, and no difference. Like even right now, still, y'all still keep up the branding. It's very consistent. It's very good. So I do believe it only because I asked. And I said whoever is doing it is consistent. So it's probably the same people. Because, you know, even like designers have a style. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So usually, even if you give them like a guidelines, you kind of can see a difference if you do something and I do something. Yep. So I was like, this is really consistent. And I still love that. Like, I love that. Even the editing, like I love that. Like the consistency. Like this is fucking club culture. Like, so yeah.
You stressing me out talking.
Why?
I asked you to answer these questions, but I'm stressed now.
Why?
Because
the pressure?
No, it's not the pressure. It's not being able to be consistent and be at the rate that you know that you have to be at to be the big pop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because all of that is me.
Yeah.
All of that is me. I am the only one doing all of this stuff.
But you know what I'm going to tell you? You still doing it. I would have quit.
But I am tired.
I would have quit. We all tired. We are tired. We are,
but I also
Jonesy.
I'm
tired. I bet, but I'm tired and I'm sick as fuck.
Yeah.
I have surgery tomorrow at 10 a.m. and I'm still up right now recording with y'all.
And then you're going to try to edit when you feel better.
Nobody else can and nobody will.
Yeah.
I have to. I am tired.
Yeah.
And I'm mad and sad about that shit because I know what
because it's just your baby
and could accomplish if we just could be able to spread and everybody else can be as skilled and just do it.
You know, it was an episode when you talked about going to Atlanta.
Yeah. To pitch the podcast.
I was so mad. I was screaming at the fucking you don't know how bad I just was like, I'm about to email them. Mm-hmm. Like I'm about to, but you know, I'm like, no, it's okay. Cause I really truly believe and it took me a long time. Like I hate when you say something and somebody gives you like that positive spin. Yeah. I call it toxic positivity. Like it's really a thing. Yeah. Because people don't validate what you're feeling and you need to read the room to be able to see, am I even in a space to receive that? Yeah. Or am I just fucking venting and I want somebody to say, I feel you, you know? But I really truly believe what is for you, and when the time is right. And then now you just saying that you was sick, it wasn't y'all time.
Yeah.
You know,
And did he?
Yeah.
And did he?
No, wait 1 minute. Fuck Devin.
Devin.
Fuck Devin.
Yeah.
Before we get to Diddy, fuck Devin. Cause Devin, he a bitch ass nigga first.
Yeah.
Devin.
Yes
Devin.
and no. When you put in those positions, and I'm just gonna say it like fuck Revert World or whatever. They knew who they wanted to pick before that. It's a game.
I don't know.
Yeah, probably not with that one.
I think that he was doing what he was probably told. She didn't answer the phone. I'll move on to the next person. But don't spin me now that you know that I'm in contact with you and you're texting me. Don't spin me.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is like y'all was replaceable to them. It wasn't like super. I'm not gonna say that you wasn't special or nothing like that. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying because
the way they handle shit is very generic.
Okay.
You know, like the way people handle shit. It's just like the things I've seen. Yeah, what I'm gonna say is probably wasn't given the true story of what happened. Okay. So say I'm the boss, right? I'm the big dog, and I choose y'all 5, and I'm like, okay, these are my 5. I want these 5.
Yeah.
Instead of them really trying to follow up or really waiting, they're like, well, we got your 5, but we had to do this because she said she didn't want to do it. You get what I'm saying? Like. That's the fucked up part about it is because the little people can fuck up stuff so bad, the top never knows. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But
that's why it's fuck Devin.
Definitely fuck Devin. Fuck Devin. But my thing is somebody should be checking Devin. You get what I'm saying? Like it should be somebody that's checking Devin. And if they say, oh, well, Club Culture said no, somebody else should be confirming that. But I know they don't care that much. But I'm just saying like people really got to start check the checker. Like people really got to start caring more about what the fuck is going on in their businesses and things that they are doing. Like something like that to me, I know it's not. I mean, I know people feel like, oh, well, it's just a contest. But if you really was gonna choose 5 people, then it really should have been them 5 people.
Yeah, it should have been the best.
Yeah, and it should have been realistic. Like, okay, we're gonna get them a week. Yeah. Because let's be fucking for real.
They didn't have a week to give. Revolt World was put together.
I remember because it was right after Invest Fest that year. Yeah. It was like the next weekend. And it didn't, nobody really promoted it. It just popped up. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. And I remember, I think you said that like you had decided to go. Because I remember when it popped up, I said, what the fuck is Revolt World?
I was going to the One Music Fest.
Yeah,
so they started saying, oh, you bought a ticket for One Music
Fest.
You
could go here.
You could go here for free. And
yeah.
I was like, okay, this shit ain't.
Yeah, because it was last minute. It was the last minute. Yeah, so it was really last minute.
And he said they had a quick turnaround to choose the 5 because it was so last minute.
So last minute. Yeah. But
I called you an hour later.
Yeah, that episode pissed me off. I think I don't even know if I finished that episode. I'll tell you the truth. Like I was like, you know what? Let me get off. I'm pissed off. I couldn't do nothing about it. But yeah, but that episode. But what I'm saying is, I understand that it's not where you want it to be, but I'm proud of y'all for keep going because me, baby, I done quit. I will quit something like a podcast. So many people be telling me, oh, you need to do a podcast. I'm like, no, I don't have a commitment. I do not. Because when I don't feel like doing it, I won't. And that's something that I'm changing though. All this week, I didn't feel like doing shit that I did. I'm proud of myself. You know, like I seen something on Instagram. It was like, stick to the plan, not your mood. Okay. And that's what I'm really trying to do because it's like I'll go home and go to sleep. Yeah. But no, for real, I understand that you're not like satisfied, but you still doing it, and that's a big deal. Yeah. Like it really is. Like y'all still got episodes, y'all still putting it out, but it's what I would do is nothing that y'all haven't done. So it's just getting back to that. I just think y'all need to build y'all community again.
Yeah. And we need a team to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not slaving over this no more. And the changes will be discussed in the Patreon. So Patreon people will know what's going on.
Yep. Pay to get the good shit.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on. Thank you for the marketing tip.
No problem.
I want to get to know you a little bit because you have a great story that should be shared, especially regarding your sister.
Okay.
Before we touch on your sister, I want to touch on just you and your upbringing.
Okay.
Said that your mom was an Army brat.
Mm-hmm.
You moved around a lot.
Yep.
But you settled in Gary with your dad.
Yep.
How was it growing up in Gary, Indiana?
I loved Gary. Gary was the shit. Like, I really hate that the kids can't see what Gary was for us. Like, we had shit to do. We had summer camps. We had the fest at the beach. I was a Miller kid. So the fest at the beach, if nobody knows, it was the 4th of July. Usually it'd be like the 3rd and the 4th. The city would bring out artists, relevant artists at that time. The Isley Brothers, Drew Hill, Jagged Edge.
Chingy came the last year they had it.
Yeah,
and
like real
the
artists.
Year he was popping.
It was real artists, and it was free. And you go to the beach. They had the stage set up. They have like vendors. I didn't even know it was vendors then, but they had people out there with food, people selling, different T-shirts and stuff like that. And so when I moved back and forth between my mom and my dad. So I was a Miller kid and I was a Glen Park kid. When my mom lived in Gary, she would live in Glen Park with my grandma.
Big Glen Park.
So when I moved with my mom and I would be living in Michigan, I could not wait to come back for the summer because I would see everybody. You see the Glen Park kids and the Miller kids. And then when I lived there, I'm like, shoot, this summer, I ain't seen people, Girl wearing some fresh Air Force Ones or K-Swiss. You remember when K-Swiss was in? And
I didn't wear that.
I was going to say, yeah.
I was a K-Swiss kid.
Nah.
Yeah,
I was a K-Swiss
she wasn't
kid.
there for K-Swiss.
Nah.
How old are you?
I'm 26, but if
20?
you were
Yeah,
K-Swiss
she wasn't
growing
there.
up, nah.
Yeah.
She wasn't
it
there.
anymore.
Yeah, we was K-Swiss kids.
And Reeboks was following suit.
I wear my K-Swiss. I wear my K-Swiss. To the mall, to the school, at the beach.
Nah, we was
homies.
K-Swiss kids, but yeah, so it was really like it was stuff to do in Gary. Like Gary was, it was thriving. Like it was stuff to do. I loved Gary. We lived by the beach. People don't believe me when I say Gary got a beach when they never been to Gary. They're like, Gary got a beach? I'm like, yeah, a beach.
Yeah.
I loved Gary. Like I grew up loving Gary. My grandma loved Gary, so it made me love Gary. Like if you have a parent that talks shit about Gary, then you kind of look at it like that.
Yeah.
But my grandma loved Gary. Like let somebody say something about Gary, she about to fight you. Yep. And that's kind of, she gave it to me for sure. Yeah. It's home. I loved it. It was really like on my block. It was like you knew who lived in each house. You couldn't do nothing without getting in trouble because everybody knew everybody. Yep. It was a real community.
Yeah. You had moments where you would go to mom's house and go to dad's house when she moved back to Gary. But did you feel like you were raised by single parents, or did it still feel like you all were?
So my mom was single. My dad has my stepmom.
Yeah.
They married when I think they got together when I was 3 and they married when we was 5. Mm-hmm. So, when I lived with my mom, I felt like I was with a single parent, but when I lived with my dad, no. Okay. So, like a community effort though, when we lived with my grandma, it was like not necessarily a single parent, but when we would move, like we moved to Michigan for some years, it was just my mom. Like I really would be like with my friends. Like my little brother used to go spend the night with me at my friend's house. Mm-hmm. The crazy part is all of them had a sibling the same age as him. So like I felt it, but I didn't. Cause like my mom worked in the casino industry. So holidays, she was at work. Yeah. So like Thanksgivings, I would be at somebody like one of my friends' house or something like that. So I didn't feel it all the time, but I was definitely like my brother's mother, Yeah.
Okay. Wait, so Zaza's from Gary?
Zazie from Gary. But
that's my nigga.
She moved when Zazie was probably like 12 or something.
Okay, we can still claim her.
No, was she in elementary?
No, fuck
she was
that.
in elementary.
Fuck that, we claiming her. Shout out my nigga.
No, she gonna say she from Gary now.
Yeah, that's my nigga.
That's my little sister. She gonna say she from Gary.
That's my nigga.
Yeah, so she definitely spent most of her schooling here though. I mean in Indy, sorry.
Big Za.
What are some lessons that you learned where your parents actually told you, not you picked up from what not to do? Your parents actually told you this and you said, okay, I listened and I respect this. I'm going to carry this.
that they actually told me. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Like that makes a huge difference.
Man.
If you ain't got one, that's an answer too.
For real.
I really don't feel like I have one. Maybe like something about God, like church or something.
Always.
It's always church.
Like something about church, but like I was just talking to somebody about like how my parents never, like my daddy was like one of the people that'll say a fucking quote, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like I started my period when I was 8.
Yeah, that's real.
Real young.
Yeah.
And when I told him, he like, if you don't want nothing to come out, you don't let nothing go in you.
Yep, that's old black dad.
But blood coming out me, Dad.
The Lord of the shepherd shall see tomorrow.
I said, okay. I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
He was like, I was like, okay. He was like, and you can get pregnant now. And I was like,
Yeah, I get what he meant, but
yeah, no. And I'm just saying, he was like, and you can get pregnant now. And that's all. Like, my mom didn't even have a conversation about me. Like, I still didn't understand it.
Yeah.
I did not understand. No, everybody was just acting like, oh my God. But nobody told me. I really can't think of nothing. I mean, other than go to school, not giving me no guidance on what I should go to school for, or ask me what I'm into, or none of that.
Save your money.
I don't even know.
You ain't get that one?
I don't even know if they told me to save my money. Like,
That's tough.
I told my mom has really good credit. And I told her, like, you never talk to me about money, like credit. You never talk to me about it. And I had to fail and, and find out. She never talked to me about budgeting, none of that. But I don't know why. But yeah, I can't think of nothing really of substance, that they actually had a conversation. Like, they didn't have a lot of conversations.
So was it a rude awakening for you when you started to become sexually active, or were you pretty educated going into your...
I wasn't educated at all. I was scared. So like, we lived in Gary. People was having babies in 8th grade. And I remember one time I was talking to somebody. Who was I talking to? My sister. And I said something. Cause I don't know how we had this conversation. I said, cause she could get pregnant. She was talking about her friend got fingered. And I said, dang, I said, she brave. She could get something pregnant. And I was like 16. Yeah. I swear to God. I was like 16. She was like, bitch, what? I said it again. She was like, Jaleesa, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And I'm like, what? You can't get pregnant by getting fingered?
Yeah.
Now my sister was experienced, okay? She wasn't scared like I was. So that's when I called my big cousin and I started asking her questions. She was like, ain't nobody told you this? She's like, nobody's had this conversation with you. She's like, are you serious, Jaleesa? Because, excuse me, when I was 8, I looked like probably 15. Okay. Like I was been developed. Like I was developed. Like I never wore a training bra. So my cousin like, ain't nobody told you this? Like what? So no, like I mean, when I probably got pregnant the second time I had sex. So I don't
like
know.
the second time or second person?
No, second time.
Second time.
Oh, that's gotta be bad.
I waited, like I really waited, and I had my first baby when I was 19. Like I waited.
The second time,
yeah.
No, you ain't even get that, like
Well, she didn't have an orgasm yet.
Definitely not. I was like, this what y'all been talking about? I was mad. I was like, this what y'all talking about? Okay, I guess. Maybe I ain't doing it right because this is definitely. I'm like,
a baby came from that. You
girl,
probably depressed as fuck. Like, damn, it wasn't even fun.
It wasn't even fun.
I said, that's a joke I said on the pod before. Like, I was probably mad as fuck. They didn't even have an orgasm.
No, for real. Like, what the fuck? What's going on? But yeah, no, I don't feel like I was like, me and my daughter have had multiple talks. She is very well versed. And and I just be telling her, like, I keep it real with her. I don't try to give her no fancy names like vagina, be like, we talk about real names. We talk about real things, and even like when I could tell she off or she mad or something, and I'll talk to her, like she'll tell me like a little boy making her mad or whatever, and we'll talk about it. And I'll just like say my opinion on the situation, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I already know." Like she'll be like, "I'm not no goofy." Like she's like, "I ain't stupid." Like I know what he want, and no, I'm not. So and that's another thing. Like my mom always be like, when she was saying, "Oh, they talk back to him," but I would never have a conversation with my mama about a boy at all. Never, like never. Even after I had a kid, I wouldn't talk to her about a relationship. So that's the reason why I do things with my kids, because I want them to be able to come to me and talk to me, and they get some real life advice, not what their little friends heard somebody say.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's talk about men.
Oh God.
Let's talk about man. How's it when you get older? Does it get harder to date, or is it smoother experience? Probably got more money now. You ain't got to worry about not going on a date.
I think for me, I think it got better because I felt like I didn't love myself when I was dating in the past. I feel like I didn't, so certain things, would be allowed. You get what I'm saying? And then also too, like now it's like, I'd rather not, like, rather than put up with bullshit or argue, I just rather not. So I think that, and my cousin always tell me, like, I always say, dang, when I turn 30, I'm 35. When I turned 30, I said, ooh, I wish I would have had this fuck it attitude years ago, And my cousin say it get better when you get 40. Like she said, every 10 years, she like, oh, wait till you hit 40. She like, you think 30 good? Yeah. She like, wait till you hit 40. So, stuff don't bother me like it used to. But also I'm not gonna like, baby, the flag don't gotta be red. It could be like pink, and I'm like, okay, nah, because like I said, patterns don't lie. People will keep telling you, like, when stories don't add up, they don't add up. Like your bullshit meter is just so easy. You could sense the bullshit way easier. And I think too, like, I'm more intentional. Like when I was in my 20s, I felt like I was just going with the flow. Like if I met somebody, I wouldn't even really necessarily have a conversation like, what are you looking for? Nothing like that. Like I'm just going with the flow. It's cool. We hanging out. If we end up really being together, it's cool, whatever. Now I'm like, how many kids you got? How many baby mamas you got? Do you know anybody? Does anybody think that they're in a relationship with you? Like I'm asking very intentional questions. What do you want? What do you do for your career? What are your plans? Like I think it's just very more straightforward. Like I think it's easier because it's like you done been through the bullshit.
When do you ask him how big his dick is?
This is why I asked the questions.
Yeah, that's why I honestly thought you was going to answer that.
I don't ask him how big his dick is, Jonesy.
I just thought you would answer. I'm sorry.
I don't ask. Usually I can tell.
How?
The way they walk, the way they carry themselves, the way they walk, the way they carry yourself. I've never been wrong.
Okay. That's enough for me.
I never been wrong.
You got to start trolling Jonesy back.
I never been wrong.
To see if he give up. Like
he ain't gonna.
That's the wrong thing to do.
No, he will never give up.
I try my head sometimes in episodes.
That's the wrong thing to do.
He'll never give up.
I'm an Xbox 360 kid. Like there's no limits on what I say.
We should try it one day in an episode shoot. I'm not going to be.
Y'all gonna be on there for 2 hours.
We're going
3 hours.
I'm gonna give him the same energy.
The
episode gonna be like beep beep.
This shit gonna start with, you ain't never sucked a dick. Yeah, boo. Weird at all.
Oh Father, I don't even want to know what Jonesy has in his head, Lord. But T gonna get you back, man. She can handle you. That's one thing about it. But yeah, I mean, dating is a lot. Like people be like, the what they say, the dating pool got piss in it. Sometimes I be agreeing, but sometimes I don't. I feel like people just be allowing bullshit. Like, I feel like you got piss in it. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like a lot of times we just deal with shit that like. And that's why I'm like right now I'm celibate on accident, really. But it ain't no like deep meaning or whatever. I just feel like I feel like I be so clouded. Like if I'm dating somebody, I be letting them get passes. You know what I'm saying? Shit that I normally wouldn't, or shit that I would be able to like kind of detect. I feel like when we cross it just be too much. Like especially if it's good. Nah. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna self-regulate right now. But I feel like a lot of people, like, that's what they do is they'll have sex and then they try to get to know each other later, and that clouds it. Even now, even on our age, it's a lot of people who are doing that. They date, they have sex and then they try to date. So that clouds your judgment, like, especially with, men and women, not especially with either one, men and women. Because I tell my male friends all the time, you would not do that if you hadn't fucked up before.
Especially if you're a sex addict. And I feel like a lot of people are undiagnosed sex addicts.
Yeah.
That's a lot of sex in American culture.
And it's a lot that goes into that. Like, you really sick, but you don't understand that because sexual addiction has been made so normal. When you're a sexual deviant, it is something wrong with you. That's not, you're sick. You're sick. Like, like Diddy, he's saying he getting therapy, but
ain't no therapy for that.
Yeah, ain't no therapy for you. Buddy.
Ain't no therapy for that.
You just
therapy got a what is it? A spectrum I'm thinking of. Nowhere near it.
Treatment, or I don't know what shock treatment or some shit. He needs shock treatment or something. But what I'm saying is, like, it's been so normalized. Like, the sexual thing has been so, he just a freak. No, it's something wrong.
Something's wrong with
like,
that
it's
nigga.
really something wrong.
Oh, we was talking about that. But how do we know if the homeboy is good around hoes or something like that?
Yeah, how you know if he is actually...
That's normally, to me, this just ignorant nigga shit. I feel like that's like low. That's like the first bar of like, nigga, you might be sexually off. Just bring him around women and see how he act.
Yeah.
Because it could only get worse.
But usually people know. Like, it's like a few dudes that I never met, but I know their name. That they are, like, people, it's like a known thing. They're creepy. Yeah. Like, they just, like, people use, it's usually like a known thing around women. Like, it's a few dudes in Indianapolis I have never met, or maybe I did and I realized it's them, or I've been around them and didn't realize it was them. But it's a few people names that I know that I'm like, okay, if I ever meet them, run, know? Like,
It was a nigga in high school that was a legendary creep, I guess that's what you said. Like, if he showed up at a house party, it was like a whole announcement thing. I'm like, why are y'all egging this shit on?
Yeah.
Weird as hell.
I'm gonna move on. Man, did I get in my bag about this sex shit?
Did y'all ever have the kids? I know you did. Did y'all have the kids that used to graduate and then come to school the first day the next year?
Yeah.
Did any of the people in your, like, age bracket, did they ever turn out to be like child molesters or get locked up for kiddie stuff?
No one that I could think of that I graduated with have those cases. I did learn from one person that was best friends with someone that was started doing that shit, but I don't personally know that person.
Okay, because it was these dudes that used to just always be around, like, underclassmen. Yeah, and you 17, she 15, ain't nothing off, but I'm like, in high school world, freshman and junior is like, nigga, that's mom and dad, mom and kid type shit.
No,
like,
it is off because you shouldn't be fucking with a freshman. You know exactly why you fucking with a freshman. Like, no, it is off. But I know, I can't say shit. I know some security guards and shit that got cases. Like, boy. We could speak on it, but we gonna move on.
I want to give my generation and younger some love. I think that we are just more aware.
No, for sure. For sure.
That's some old nigga shit.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all are.
We would talk about those things in middle school before getting to high school. Like, why is y'all always around? They graduated. We would talk about those things.
See,
or always coming to the basketball and football games. Like, why are y'all still here?
It was a bad thing to be a super senior. Like,
dude, that's the downside of, like, how communal, like, Gary was, because, like, you could have an 8th grader and a senior kicking it, and niggas like, well, shit, they from the same hood, they from the same block.
An 8th grader dating a sophomore, junior. No, you're weird. That junior, no, you're weird.
That's crazy.
And, shout out to the young people, man. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to y'all for doing better. 2 out of the 3 I thought would
and being smarter for sure.
And I never understood it when I would go through history and realize, like, that was legislation. It was okay to date younger marry someone 13 and you're 30.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Even with like
insane
R. Kelly, like just that's people's biggest. Oh, it was normal for the people be at the McDonald's.
It was definitely a known thing. It was
still bad.
Yes.
It was a known thing, and I will say I can't necessarily say that I even knew how bad it was when it was happening. You know, like it was definitely like a known thing. Like my cousin, she's like, "Oh, that's the McDonald's R. Kelly be at."
Yeah,
and it was like, "Oh, okay." And like
that's
I said,
cool.
Yeah, like I definitely don't think I realized it then. Now when them tapes and stuff came out, I realized that was wrong. Don't get me wrong, but like the whole like he be at the McDonald's, I never understood how deep that shit was. Like what? Yeah. Like he's literally been doing this his whole life. Like this is a thing.
Yeah, they used to play them tapes in barbershops. Like it was like primetime television.
No, for real.
Weird as hell.
For real. That's where I seen it, is a barbershop.
That's where I saw it.
I swear to God, that's where I seen it, was a barbershop. And if we really think about it, that's really nasty. It's child porn.
Gee, I'm in this motherfucker watching kiddie porn with other grown men.
I was literally, I was up there with one of my cousins. Yeah, I was with one of my cousins. That's where I seen it, was a barbershop.
And I didn't even think the sex tape was weird because I'm in the 4th grade. Sex is sex to me. I don't know what kiddie porn is just yet. But it was weird to me because I'm like, why am I watching porn with all these grown ass men in the room?
Okay, let me tell you why I didn't think it was weird, because I used to watch my daddy's porn.
See, no, like watching porn wasn't weird. It was the watching it with other people. Yeah, bro.
But I really didn't think it was like, I didn't think it was weird until like, I don't know what happened. We was talking about it. Somebody was talking about how like the tape was like so accepted in our, like in Gary, right? And how it was so common. I don't know who I was talking to this about. And we was talking about the barbershop, and I was really like just sitting there with these grown men watching this tape.
Watching porn.
You know how fucked up that is?
Yeah. Weird as hell.
I can't even, I had to be like 12 or like.
You graduated 08 too?
07.
07, you was in the 7th grade.
See, that's weird as fuck.
Yeah.
And my cousin didn't say nothing. I was with my cousin. He was getting his haircut. I was riding with him. I was with my cousin. He didn't even say nothing. Like, go close your eyes, go and outside or nothing. I'm just sitting there. Everybody watching it.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's fucked up.
That's insane. But I'm glad we're progressing. We're progressing now. T's generation got us.
I think, but I also think my generation is addicted to sex still.
Right.
Especially the video in the comments.
It's accessible, but it's accessible. It was so more accessible to you guys.
Down.
Yeah. We didn't. We like I said, I used to watch my daddy's porn, but I really didn't even know what was going on. Because he would leave it in the VCR. I'm talking about, VCR porn, okay? Yeah. Big booty 17, stuff like that. Like, he would leave it in the fucking DVD, like the VCR. I don't even know if I knew it was wrong per se. Like, I wasn't aroused or nothing about it. Like, I used to watch it and be like, oh, okay, let me turn this off. Like, sometimes I'll watch it. So, for us, it was like I had to be at home. You know what I'm saying? I had to be at home, or it had to be like a DVD player or something like that. We didn't have phones. We didn't have we had internet-ish, but we had like dial-up. Yeah. You know?
You had to have a reason to be on the computer.
Yeah. Like the only time
purpose.
Yeah, like my parents didn't even let me get on there unless it was like school or like I had, it was a reason. Yeah, it wasn't like, you just was on there surfing like, like your generation just was like, it's a hobby, YouTube, let me look, whatever. But yeah, it's so accessible to y'all. Y'all don't have to have no kind of special permission or nothing.
Yeah.
And it's all in y'all music that's easily accessible too.
Y'all had it in y'all music too.
We did, but our parents was buying us the edited CDs, and we ain't.
I wasn't allowed to watch BET.
Yeah, kids
I wasn't allowed to watch none of that. Like I wasn't allowed to watch it, but at the same time, I was watching porn, but they weren't at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't allowed to watch. Like, I wasn't allowed to. Me and my sister used to sneak and watch Midnight Love, and we used to be ready to have the last. So my stepmama came upstairs, we could change the channel or whatever. But me and my sister used to sneak and watch Midnight Love, and other than that, we wasn't allowed. Like, they used to play tapes when we was in a car. They used to play tapes. So when like we listening to Prince, Michael Jackson, shit like that. Like when people at school would be singing a new song, we only knew the chorus because they would sing the song. Yeah. Like, so we wasn't allowed to, which really, I mean, and then like at 13, they just didn't give a fuck no more. So it was kind of like
13 in a black household.
it's just
they
like
take the
fuck
reins
it.
off.
Yeah. So yeah.
I grew up in the weird interim period with internet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I know what it's like to not have it, and I know what it's
like to have it. Yeah.
So
yeah, the access is insane.
Let's move on. This is the last topic I want to touch on the free episode, but in the Patreon we will touch on the diddler.
Okay.
So the question I have for you is:
he's guilty.
Father God.
I am completely removed from what happened to your sister.
Okay.
Jonesy was telling me a little bit about it, but I want to hear it from you. What happened to your sister?
Okay, so
that you know of.
What we had 5 years? 2019. Yeah, 2019. So March 2019, we got a call. So my stepmom got a call at work and said, "Hey, Najah didn't pick up the kids. Have you heard from her?" So the kids they were talking about is she had 2 kids, 2 foster kids that were like staying with her temporarily. She had 2 of her own children, and then she had a permanent foster kid that was living with her that would catch the bus. So these kids had only been with her for like 2 days because they hadn't even got bus services set up yet.
Yeah.
So, my stepmom left work because she was like, I know something's wrong. Najah is not going to not tell one of us to go get the kids. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
So my little sister calls me and is like, have you talked to Najah? I'm like, I talked to her yesterday because she was starting a new job. She's like, that's what everybody's saying. They talked to her yesterday. She's like, nobody's really talked to her today. And I'm like, well, what's going on? She's like, we don't know where she is. And I'm like, what do you mean we don't know where she is? She's like, they didn't pick up the kids, didn't get picked up from school. The new foster kids didn't get picked up from school. And we can't find her. Her location stopped this morning. We don't know where she is. She didn't make it. At first we thought she made it to work. Yeah. She made it to work. And I'm like, well, if she made it to work, then what happened after that? She's like, I don't know. She's like, I called up there. They said she started. I'm confused or whatever. So my stepmom went up there and they said that she never made it to work. Okay. So from there, everybody's panicking. I call every person that I ever knew. I was calling people on Facebook. I was, any person that I could think that she talks to. All her friends, call her phone a million times. So we called the police. The police in Indianapolis. Let me explain it where Najah lived. Najah lived in Avon. Avon and Indianapolis are literally like Maryville and Gary, right?
Okay.
But they're different counties. Mm-hmm. So when you call the police in Indianapolis, because that's where my stepmom's house is, but it's literally like,
53rd.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It's literally like across the street, right? Mm-hmm. When she called in Indianapolis, the Indianapolis police came, they took the report. What they should have done is said, let me call Avon because the last time she was seen was at her home. Let me call Avon so they could take the report. So that delayed us in getting an actual detective. We didn't get a detective until Tuesday because they had to transfer the case.
Gotcha.
So between time, at this point, she was living with her ex-fiance. He was supposed to be moving back out. She was like they were broken up, like they were broken up. She started talking to another guy. He knew he was coming home when he wanted to, it was toxic, I guess. I don't know. Before she went missing was the first time she was saying like he had been getting aggressive with her. She had never said anything before or whatever, but as my nephew revealed later, it was an abusive relationship. So, okay. We asked him, when is the last time you seen her? What's going on? He brings the 3 children to the home, to my stepmom's house. Mm-hmm. And he's like, my mama got to go to work. I'm taking her to work. His mama ain't never worked. Mm-hmm. So we like, what? And then he said he had to go to the movies. Mm-hmm. But
the ex-fiance brought kids to drop off.
Dropped the kids off.
I'm
Dropped her
now.
kids off.
Okay.
So we like, you going to the movies right now?
Yeah.
You know, right now.
At a time like this.
Yeah. He like, Najah on some bullshit. She cool. She gonna show up. She gonna pop up. We like, no. Like, no, she's not. Like, she's not on no bullshit. Like, one thing about my sister is her kids. If she like, so they were the foster kids, the other kids rode the bus, but she's not leaving nobody's kids. Like, that's why my stepmama left, because she knew something was wrong. Nobody's. My kid, your kid, if it's a kid standing outside waiting for their mama, she gonna watch them. You know, like, she don't play about nobody's kids. She love kids. Like, she was the only crazy motherfucker who used to have like 10 kids over her house. I would never let all my nieces and nephews come at the same time.
Nah.
She'd be like, drop them off, you know? She has always loved kids. So we like, okay, whatever. You're being weird. So as time goes on, she's missing. They find her ID on the side of the road with somebody else's ID, which I believe was like done to kind of throw off some stuff. They find her ID like maybe 2 or 3 days after she's missing. They find her car a few weeks after she's missing. The only thing they have from her car is surveillance from, so they dropped her car off in like a parking lot, and it was a McDonald's, let's say like across the street. So they have their surveillance of somebody dropping it off, but it's real grainy. And then they got in another car. So we found her car like, I want to say it was 2 or 3 weeks later. And then like a month later, maybe, her foot was discovered. So,
In Indianapolis?
No, in Crown Point.
Wow.
Allegedly, 2 people were fishing in this pond that people say that no one ever fishes in.
Yeah.
And they found her foot. Now, her foot has her name on it. She had it covered up, but it had been sitting in the water long enough where when they found the foot, they were able to Google her name.
Yeah.
And able to call the police and say, hey, this is, you know, hey, we think we have the foot of your of your missing person or whatever.
Yeah.
We did DNA.
The fisherman did all of this.
No, the police.
Oh,
Okay.
The Crown Point police.
Gotcha.
right. I thought the fisherman took the foot and did the Googles and.
Oh no.
Okay.
The detective did. I don't know if they touched it.
Right.
I still don't believe that they actually fished it out of the pond. I believe they were paid to say that they fished it out of the pond. And they never really, like, they questioned them for a little bit, but I don't think they pressed hard enough.
Right.
Because fast forward, okay, so we found a foot, DNA links it to her. Fast forward, we find out that he is the beneficiary on her policy, her ex-fiance. So in the meantime, between time, like the week that she's missing, the first week that she's missing, he leaves the kids. He doesn't come back and get them. It's just a lot of suspicious things, you know. Like one day he pulled up, and my little sister had went over my sister's house, and she had got Najah's Apple Watch. One day he pulled up, and her Apple Watch started going off.
Najah's Apple Watch started going off.
Yeah. Like he had her phone, because she had the Apple Watch where, remember the first Apple Watches, it had to be by your phone. It didn't have like a separate number and stuff. The first version, it had to work off of your phone.
Okay.
So one day my sister had it on because we was trying to crack it. Like we was trying to get in it. And my sister just kept charging it and wearing it, trying to see if like we could see messages come through. You know what I'm saying? And one day he pulls up in the driveway and it starts going off. The police act like they don't know what that means.
Yeah, nah.
They acted totally clueless. Oh, well, we don't work for Apple. Call them motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's the detective ain't never tried to get a subpoena to go through phones.
Allegedly, but Apple is very secure, like to a fault. To a fault, but I feel like it was like, okay, I sent a paper, I didn't call, I didn't, you know what I mean? Like it was very passive. It wasn't like I'm on your ass, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm really trying to get this. So I mean, time has went on, weird things have happened. The fiance was questioned once, he went in to get questioned once with his lawyer, and then after that he would no longer be questioned. Her boys are now 17 and 12. They feel it every day. We are now finally able to, like, we are literally about to hire a private investigator. We found a lady. We've tried to get lawyers to take on the case and help us with, because we're still fighting him. Like, we literally have a court date in October about the life insurance, because initially when she was reported missing, the detectives called and said don't pay because he's a person of interest, never a suspect.
Yeah.
Right.
So now that he's not a suspect, you know, after all of these years, he did file a claim. I want to say maybe either like 2020, like maybe like a year and a half after like a year after she was missing, he did file a claim, and State Farm has put it in the court's hands because they're like, we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But legally, we have to pay out by this date or whatever. So, you know, they had to comply with law and hand it over to the court. To be transparent, nobody would take our case to fight, because on paper, it's his. Yeah. Really. My stepmom was a secondary, but it was 100 and 100. You know, it was like, if he dies, then she gets it or whatever. Nobody will take our case to fight it. I mean, I am not a stupid person. I understand it's his, like, but it's principle for us. It's like, you know, it's principle. It's principle. Yeah. I mean, we were offered a settlement and we didn't take it because we wanted to be able to speak about it. So,
can we discuss the settlement?
No, I'm not gonna go into that because he could sue me. I probably wasn't even supposed to say the settlement, but I don't give a fuck. Like, you gonna sue what? -$5? Because baby, you gonna be waiting. But so now we are at the point where we finally can hire a private investigator, because we do not feel like we had a thorough investigation with Avon Police Department. So the private investigator, the one person that did give us like some advice but would not agree to counsel us, you know, to be our actual lawyer, told us to start with a private investigator. Don't hire a lawyer. Like, if you're trying to push it to where the case will be prosecuted and everything like that. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the gist of it. If you have questions, I am comfortable with asking questions. I have been the advocate for my family because, like, if my sister was to be here, they would be crying. Yeah. My stepmama would be crying. And I, you know, like, I've put on the face. Like, I'm always the people that talk to the podcasts that have done podcasts on her. I'm always the person that handles the news situations. Like, I'm the spokesperson for it, so I'm comfortable with asking questions. A lot of people like have always been like, well, I wanted to ask, and I'm like, you can ask. When it first happened, I didn't even know the answers, so I'm like, I don't know, because I didn't know. And it's a lot of stuff I still don't know or understand. But if you have any questions for clarification, because, you know, of course, I know what happened, you can definitely ask.
Did you all have a funeral?
No.
Okay. Because my question was, if you did he try to help to pay with knowing that
So we've had like visuals, like, you know, like candlelight visuals at the church and stuff like that, and he would kind of like be in the shadows. Like, he don't want to be on the news, like he don't want to be in pictures. He would show up like at the end, or we would kind of see him like leaving. But my stepmom feels like until we have a body or an answer, she does not want a funeral.
I feel that.
What did they do with her foot? Like, is it something, if you hire a PI, that they can do their own tests and hire their own scientists to? It's still at the mortuary. They keep calling us to get it, but my stepmom's like, I'm not doing anything with it. It was initially it was sent to the FBI. Yeah. The FBI did tell us that it was cut off post-mortem, meaning she was dead. Yeah. And they told us the specific tool that it was cut off with, like a powered chainsaw or something. Okay. They told us like the specific, I don't remember the specifics, but it was initially sent to the FBI first. Yeah. And then the FBI sent it to
the funeral home, but my stepmom is like,
yeah,
you know, I don't know what y'all gonna do with it, but I don't want it. You know, like it's nothing of importance for me right now.
I'm hot, man. I'm angry.
Yeah.
I'm so hot.
I'm angry at a few things, even a funeral home. Like, why are you offering my deceased loved one foot back?
I mean, I guess by law,
Yeah.
they're supposed to. You know, like they can't keep it. I mean, I think they still have it, but I'm pretty sure like they're not supposed to hold. You know what I mean? Like.
Right.
I don't know, but they did call a lot for a long time. We do have a death certificate. Being transparent, once my sister went missing, a guy wrote me on Facebook, and the child that was presumed to be his child with my sister, he said, you know, hey, I believe that the youngest child of Najah is my son. Can we get a test? And I knew about him.
Yeah.
I knew about him. You know, I knew the possibility. And dude kind of knew the possibility too. He was definitely aware, but he said he didn't care. So that was his dad. So he has a relationship with his dad. My oldest nephew's father actually died about 6 months before my sister went missing. So yeah.
That's the oldest.
Yeah, that's the
17.
oldest. Yeah. So he's definitely he's doing a lot better, but he definitely has some rebellious moments. Like, yeah, he definitely felt it. You know, that was his best friend. Like they were she was very close to her kids, like very close to her kids. Very close to her kids. So
what happened to the foster children?
They had to go back. The one we had a really good relationship with, like when she went to her new place, she ran away and came to my stepmom's house. We like, girl, I'm not gonna say her name, but girl,
yeah,
you know, for a while we was still getting her for like birthday parties and stuff like that. But, she eventually went back home. So, she'll call, we'll check, you know, she'll check in, but the other two children, they had to just be placed somewhere else. We didn't really have a relationship with them. But yeah, so they had to be placed back in the system.
Now you said that your sister was dating someone.
Not really dating, but like talking to someone. And we kind of like warned her about that. Like, dude, you being too brave, you know, like he don't care. I'm like, girl, like they've broke up a million times, but I don't know why I knew it was for real this time. Like it was just different. And my sister was growing up a lot. Like she was really maturing and like she was just different. I really can't explain it. Like she was just changing. And I feel like, you know, I always say you either grow together or grow apart. And I definitely feel like it was just like that time for her to kind of move around, you know? So it wasn't like super like in his face. Like she was talking to him more than anything. And I know one time or two he like heard her talking to him. But nothing really came of that at that time. Yeah. So
Jonesy, you got a question?
I'm processing a lot.
Yeah.
Cause it's like it's crazy how like one person's actions can affect like so many other people's lives.
And you know what? Like for a long time, like when I would tell the story, like not even tell the story, when I would think about it, like, you know, cause for a long time I couldn't sleep. And that's why I was talking about trauma brain earlier. I really thought I had Alzheimer's. I'm not being funny. Like I went to the doctor because I couldn't remember simple shit. Like, I mean, it really like trauma is like, I've done research on it now because I'm like, what the fuck is going on with me? Lack of sleep, of course, messes with your memory too, but I really wasn't like, I feel like I was really going crazy, and that's what I have a PTSD diagnosis and trauma, you know, trauma brain. The real name is like something trauma induced memory loss or something like that. Gotcha. So I have a real diagnosis. But I say all that to say, whenever I tell somebody this story, they're like, what the fuck? And of course I would feel like that because it's my sister, right? So I used to be like, maybe I'm being emotional, or maybe I'm, like I would try to say maybe it's just because I'm her family or something like that. But I really feel like the police fucked up. Like, and I think the biggest thing is that they were not equipped for this case. Hendricks County is a very small county. I'm not gonna say wish, but if I had to choose, I feel like IMPD would have been more equipped. And I feel like IMPD would have been quicker to say, let me get this to the FBI.
Right.
So, like we've reached out to like all those cold case things like Kelly Siegler, all them, and Avon has to give permission for them to access the case, and they won't reply.
Right.
So I believe that's because they know they fucked up. So whenever anybody gets it, it's going to be like, why didn't you do A, B, and C? Why didn't you know what I mean? Like eventually it's going to be somebody's going to be in trouble. Right now, the state of Indiana has opened up a cold case unit.
Okay.
But Najah's case is not technically deemed cold case, but I did write them to see if we could pull that case.
So what is the plan if you get a PI? When do you get a PI? For if they're not responding?
See, the PI has ways. So when we talk to the PI, she basically is like, I'm just going to shake the table. There are things and ways that I can access things. I have a team that knows how to access these things. One of the people on her team used to be a prosecutor. Yes. So they'll figure it out. She was very, very upset. She's like, well, why didn't they? What? And actually, when we spoke to the one lawyer that did speak to us, he said, well, did you know he was arrested for battery last week?
And this was before your sister?
No, after. Like a few weeks, like months ago. Like in June or something.
Oh, hell no.
So when I told the private investigator, she's like, that shows, who he is. Like, right. What he is. And
patterns.
Patterns like we were just talking about. Mm-hmm. So our goal with the private investigator is to find something that will push a case, push for him to be prosecuted. That's our goal. We don't care about the money. That's our goal, is that he will be prosecuted.
Got you.
That nigga needs to be in jail.
How's the relationship with the ex-fiance?
When it first happened, he was like still trying to come around a little bit. My stepmom like, get the fuck away.
Yeah.
Like there's no conversation. So now, a little bit he did try to like do some little real, trying to like go through my oldest nephew, like try to talk to him, bought him a PlayStation and dropped it off at the house and shit. My sisters done beat him up because he tried to take my nephew. Like, we was letting him come get him and like drop him back off because in our eyes, although he probably did do it, my youngest nephew was losing two parents too, So we was trying to let him do that, but he ended up fucking that up. But he tried to take him, and my sisters ended up having to,
They beat him up.
Wait, he's a father to one of them?
He was assumed to be the father, but remember I said somebody.
Yeah, that's why I got lost.
Yeah, somebody called. We did the DNA test and stuff like that. Yeah. But even after that, we was still trying to like, because my nephew wanted to.
Yeah.
But as time has went on, my nephew is definitely like, he definitely did this to my mom. Like I don't want to have nothing to do with him. So when we did the DNA test and stuff, we changed his name. He still has his first name, but he had his middle name and his last name. So those have been changed.
Boy.
Yeah, shout out to y'all for the strength.
Boy.
Y'all some strong people.
I hope y'all find the killer. I hope it is exactly who y'all think it is.
Yeah.
Do y'all think he had help?
And it's not
he had to have help. He had to have help.
Yeah, you can't do that by yourself.
I mean, my theory is that they got in an argument that morning. Because my nephew told me this like a few days after. Okay, so they only interviewed my nephews once, which to me is crazy. And it was the day after, like the day that we got assigned a detective. So she was missing on a Friday. We got assigned a detective on Tuesday. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
A detective on Tuesday. And they either got questioned Tuesday or Wednesday. So now, mind you, we teach our kids not to talk to the police.
Right.
So this was less than a week. I'm sure that my oldest nephew didn't say everything that he would have said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he still didn't know what was going on. It was
Right.
still fresh. Like, she might come back. I'm not about to really, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they never interviewed them again. But my nephew told me that when they came home, it was stuff like all over the living room, like stuff knocked down.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he didn't think nothing of it. All they thought was, Mama gonna beat my ass. Let me clean this up, you know? Like, all of them thought it. Well, him and Tasia, because him and, I didn't want to say her name, but him and the foster child,
I could bleep it.
no,
Yeah,
it's fine.
please do.
It's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Him and the foster child rode the same bus. And then the younger son came later. So they both were like, oh shit, we gonna get in trouble because her living room messed up.
Oh, so they came home from school to a fucked up living room.
Yes.
Okay, now it's clicking.
So but they didn't tell the police that. He thought about that after he was interviewed.
Got
Dang.
you.
So we called the police and they like, well, did y'all like, how did that come about? Like, basically almost saying like, we
Are you
told
putting
him to
this
say that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we like, no, he came up with that himself. Like, it was like a light bulb. And he was like, oh, wait a minute. Da 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 da. So my theory is that they got into an argument and that he choked her. There's surveillance of her car leaving. Excuse me, y'all. I don't keep burping. Let me tell y'all.
This is my first time hearing it, so you might be saying
You might have smelt it.
I have it.
I am on metformin because I am a diabetic. It makes me burp all day. I apologize if you heard me burping. I'm apologizing if you smelt it. Anyways, so my theory is that he choked her. And so the car was seen driving away at like
Driving away from the
from her
residence.
apartment. But the way that the surveillance camera is, it's one of those cameras that pans, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have who got in the car. It just has that the car left at this time. And I want to say it was like at 3:20, and she had to be at work at 5:00, where the distance is only like maybe 30 minutes, if that, right?
Well, she didn't need to leave out.
She ain't leave out that soon, and baby, my sister ain't leaving early for nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody, okay? So yeah. So then the little girl remembered that after they talked to the detective, the little girl remembered that when she woke up about 2:30, she had to pee. She came out, she went to the bathroom, and she saw him taking garbage bags outside. She asked him, did he need help? And he told her, no, go back in the room. Go back to sleep. You got to go to school in the morning.
In the morning?
I mean, well, you got to go to school. 2:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
It was
I'm thinking
2:30 in the
we
morning.
afternoon.
No, it was
Okay.
2:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe he was taking her body
Right.
and probably the sheets and stuff off the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe he put it in her car and drove off. But the surveillance only got the car driving off.
Right.
Now, I don't know if he knew how to, I don't know. The only thing, I got questions about that part. Because did he know that the camera panned? How did he know? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Unless he thought about this a long time ago.
Did he peep out that camera
Mm-hmm.
and watched it pan or what? Because I should go look. It's probably still the same fucking camera.
More than likely.
Yeah, I should go look. I'm gonna go look tomorrow. So that's one thing. And then her phone around that time cut off. Like she was
location.
going past like 10th Street or something, like her location cut off
Mm-hmm.
at that time. So and then he never called her. When she went missing, he never called her.
Oh, that's a dead giveaway.
Or text her. He told my stepmama he did. My stepmama asked to see his phone. And he was like, oh, I must have called her. She was like, let me see your call log. He never called her. It was something else I was about to tell y'all, but I can't remember.
I got confuzzled, whatever the word is.
Okay, go ahead.
About the time.
Clarify.
Because you said something about 2:30 in the morning when the baby went to go
use the bathroom.
Saw him outside taking the trash out. But
saw him taking some garbage bags outside. Yes.
Excuse me. And then you also said that the camera was showing at 3:00.
3:20. Her car leaving the apartments. Yep.
So was this 2:30 after that going?
2:30 a.m. and 3:20 a.m.
Oh, so she works at 5 a.m.
5 a.m. She was supposed to be at work at 5 a.m.
Oh, because it was in the daytime for me too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good.
Yeah, she was supposed to be at work at 5 a.m.
Got you. Now it all makes sense that was all a continuous 2:30 then 5.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
Got you.
I know what's going on. So like I said, ask me the questions to clarify. I know what's going on. So yeah. Okay. I was going to tell y'all something else, but I can't remember. But yeah. So just a side note, he owns a home that he works out of. And he has a garage, full access, 24/7 access whenever you wanted to.
Right.
So I feel that's where he dismembered her body.
You think he did this all at home? Because you said the foot was found at Crown Point.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much 2 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours away.
But he's from Detroit. I think he drove up the highway and threw her body parts out of the car.
And it just traveled down that way.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
That's my theory.
Yeah.
But when I had went semi-viral, probably not your own number viral.
Sorry.
I had went viral on TikTok telling her story, and somebody said something to me that in the 5 years that this has been going on, nobody said, but like I kind of like knew. But she was like, that foot had to be found for him to have proof of death, so he could get the insurance money.
Right.
That's why I don't believe it was no fucking random fisherman.
Mm-mm.
I don't believe that.
Now, is there any point in your theory where you think that he's not this aware and intelligent to think about these things and he was just doing shit?
No, because you
gotta be calculated. That requires intelligence to plan like that.
He's done a lot of insurance fraud.
Okay, so he knows the game.
He knows the game. Yeah,
okay.
He knows the game with insurance fraud, and I don't even know how to say what's in my mind. I'm trying to think of how to say it. He from Detroit. He know people.
Got you.
Like, I don't believe that. No, I believe he's smart. Okay. I believe he's very smart, but I believe he's one of those people that people think are dumb. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And some of the things I think might have been coincidence.
Yeah.
I feel like that camera panning, he might not even have knew that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because even if, and that's why I hate, okay, so I'm gonna say this. Even if we had him on camera putting something in the car, if he got rid of it, we had nothing else, right? Mm-hmm. There was no blood or anything found in her car. When they found it, it was like no blood. Of course, his fingerprints could be in the car because they used to be together. You know, that's not a, oh my God, aha moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing I was gonna say. And then the second thing I was gonna say is, damn, I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something. About the surveillance. I said the surveillance.
Now, was she from Gary too? That's your little sister, right?
It's actually my stepsister. We only 4 months apart.
Oh.
We've been together since we was 3 years old. But yep, she from Gary.
Okay. Because I'm like, why would you drop it in Crown Point? But it makes sense.
But didn't that seem real convenient?
That's too convenient.
Yeah, it's too convenient.
Dropped it in Crown Point.
Yeah, it was real convenient. That's how I felt too. I was gonna say something else though. It was something else that was like important, but my mind is not recalling it. But because you asked me
a question, because I got one.
Go ahead.
I just don't want to fuck up your memory.
Yeah, I'm not gonna catch you, girl. Go ahead. It might come back.
What time do you think that he killed her? Unalived her. My bad. What time do you think he could have did it? If the daughter's peeing at 2:30, he's taking something out. That's 5 in the morning. So what time before 2:30 do you think it could have happened?
Definitely like 12. He might have just sat there for a minute. You know what I mean? And especially like if it's no blood, like I really believe he choked her out. I believe that he just went too far. You know, like I don't believe he initially planned on killing her, or if he did, this wasn't the planned time. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe that he initially planned on killing her.
Got you.
Excuse me.
And then if let's say the time was 12, was midnight, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they were arguing, then the kids, you don't think they would have heard something?
That was normal.
It was normal. So did they say that they were arguing?
I don't remember. Like they said they was fussing a little bit, but Thomas was like, it wasn't where I felt like I had to go in there.
Yeah.
You know, like it wasn't like, you know, they was fussing a little bit, like going back and forth, but it wasn't that, you know, like where I felt like, let me go break it up, or, you know, I need to see what's going on.
And does he have a pattern of, is he a serial abuser in the relationship?
We didn't find, let me tell you this. Somebody wrote me on Facebook last year. Now that's 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years. Somebody wrote me on Facebook that she used to work with and said, I'm so happy she got away. No, she was trying to leave him. I really wanted her to leave. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was basically like, you know what I'm saying? Like in a roundabout way, he used to hit her.
Right.
And I said, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I said, did she tell you that, or are you assuming? And she said, no, it was a thing for sure. I said, I never knew that. I said, did you tell the detectives? And she was like, no, I kept telling everybody I would talk to the detectives. And I'm like, okay, you know, thanks. I don't, you know, whatever. So I called my little sister right then and there. My nephew, she had me on speakerphone. So like they was driving in a car or on Bluetooth. Mm-hmm. I called my little sister. I'm like, you remember Najah's friend? Because I remember her name. I can't say if I ever met her or nothing, but I remember her name because she used to work with her. Mm-hmm. And I said, you remember Najah's friend that she used to work with? Why she randomly just write me? Oh no, I went live. And maybe it was this year. I think it was earlier this year. It's pinned on my page. It might have been earlier this year around her anniversary. Matter of fact, yep, it was earlier this year. I went live talking about it. Mm-hmm. And she had me on speakerphone on Bluetooth. So I tell her what the girl said. Thomas said, y'all didn't know that? I used to get in trouble for defending her. I said, what? I said, Zazie was like, no, we didn't know that. Like, what? I'm like, did the detectives ask you? And he was like, no. He was like, I thought everybody knew. He was like, I thought it was just known. I said, no. And my little sister like, Thomas, why you never told, you know, came out and told. He like, I'm thinking that you knew, you know, like he like, I really thought that y'all knew. Like, y'all know everything else. I really honestly thought y'all knew. So I didn't know until recently that yes, it was a abusive relationship.
Yeah. My last question is a hard-hitting question.
Okay, that's fine. If I cry, don't judge me. Go ahead.
Okay. Have you ever considered of a possibility of it not being the ex-fiance and it being someone else?
It took me a long time to say it was him. It took me a long time. I was the only one that would talk to him. Yeah. Like when he would come get my nephew, it was between. I'm all the way in Vegas. None of them would talk to him when he was coming to get him. It was me communicating and me being the middle person. When I would come, I would get all my nieces and my nephews and we would go like bowling and I would tell him where we was going to be and he would come and talk to them, you know, like in a shared space or whatever like that. And I wasn't saying I was in denial, but for a long time, it couldn't have been him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yes, I have. The biggest thing that confuses me is that where my sister lived, it really wasn't a space of like you going to her house. If you going to her house, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't like going down Broadway and randomly seeing somebody walking or something like that, or like a main area. It's like really ducked off. So that's the biggest thing that confuses me into like it was somebody random or anybody really, because she was really a private person. A lot of people didn't know where she lived. Like, we all still do it. Shit, my one sister ain't never changed her address from my mama's house. Like, you know, we want to do certain stuff like meet me at my mama's house. Like, there's some people that do not know. Like, even like on first dates, we meet at my mama's house. Like, drop our car off there, whatever, like that. So her address wasn't like common knowledge or nothing like that. Like, if she had beef with somebody or something like that. So yes, I have considered that. But also, I feel like even if it is somebody else, we still didn't get a thorough investigation.
Yeah, but if it's not, because I feel like he sounds like the obvious answer.
And it's not always the obvious answer. And I'm a true crime junkie. So trust me, like, yes. And I still go back and forth sometimes, honestly. Like, I still do go back and forth, like, to try to think of, like, a possibility, like. But the one thing I will say is it may not have been him, but he know what happened. Like, now I'm here. You know what I mean? Now I'm there. Like, that's how I feel. It may not have been, but I know his son helped him, because every time I see his son, he act like he seen the ghost. Or his son knows what's going on. Yeah. And my sister actually raised his son. That's the crazy part about it. Like, raised his son. Like,
was the son there at the night?
No, he wasn't. He's grown now, so he didn't live there any longer. But he definitely had a hand in helping cover it up, or he did it. You know, like it. Like I said, now after all this time, all this years, the only thing that makes sense is that he knows what happened. He didn't necessarily have to do it, or, you know, whatever it may have been. I have a lot of different theories. I think about it all the time, you know, or when I watch another crime show, I'm like, well, shit, maybe it was, you know, like maybe this was a different angle, or, you know, maybe he did drug her, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have a lot of different, but that's the most consistent. What I said is the most consistent theory that I have. But I do consider other people, but certain little things just don't make sense for me. Like, if I could answer certain questions, then, because what the biggest one is, who would have benefited from somebody finding her foot other than him?
No one.
If you didn't want to give us quote unquote closure, because then we would have found a whole body.
Right. I got a
That's
question.
the biggest one for me. So that's what can't make sense for it to be nobody else for me.
Yes.
Like,
it just knowing he has insurance.
Yeah, knowledge. Yeah.
Like, that's his game.
Yeah, that's his thing.
So what kept y'all from getting street justice?
Because it would have been obvious. I ain't want to be on nobody's fucking defendant stand.
I feel you.
It would have been obvious.
Jonesy dub ass.
I mean,
shit.
The calls were made. The calls were made. Like, the calls were definitely made when it first happened. Like, and I'm like, no, that's stupid, because it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be so obvious. Like, it was somebody connected to us, and I don't want nobody going through my call logs, and I gotta be on nobody's stand. Like, that, to me, it just wasn't worth it. Like, it just wasn't worth it in that sense. But I mean,
I didn't watch so many movies and stuff about crime. Get somebody to get into a relationship with him, to get that
and that's all it is.
Highlight it, have her just do it to get research and video of him being abusive,
and he'll probably say it. You're gonna end up like you know what I'm saying?
Get one of your best hitters, your baddest bitches, make them fall.
He too ugly, they don't like him. They can't even act like they like him.
Damn,
that he
uglier than me.
Shut the fuck up.
My bad.
I really hope you all get the justice that you all deserve.
Thank you. And her name is Najah Ferrell. NAJAHFERRELL. You can look her story up.
Sorry, do you all have like donations that you could take?
We do have a GoFundMe. I'll send you the link. It's for legal representation and a private investigator, because eventually we will need the legal representation after the private investigator give us something to work with, so they can help navigate us to push the prosecutors to, you know, actually pursue the case.
And that link will be in the YouTube description so that you can send a nice donation their way for all the help that they can take.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for asking me.
No problem.
Yeah,
No
get
problem.
all your shit out there.
Thank you so much for asking me.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Nobody asked me about my sister. Like, I've been on a few podcasts and I know that they know. But it's not an obligation, anything like that. But it's definitely a part of me. Like, it is a part of me.
Look, man, we all know everybody don't pod like club culture.
No, they don't. That's why y'all my fave, man. Y'all
Real honest shit.
real, like, y'all ain't just no
True to
bullshit,
false.
no pop culture, no relationship talk every week. That's what I love. Y'all have the real hard conversations.
Yeah, because I'd never pay a woman's bills.
This is episode 120.
Lies.
Season 6, Realer Than Real. I'm so grateful that you were able to end this season with us.
I'm so grateful y'all invited me. Thank you, for real.
No problem.
Because I was side-eyeing like everybody else been on this motherfucker.
You probably the only person I truly advocated for. Like, yo, like, we gotta do
he's like,
this
bro.
one.
And I'm like, chill.
I
It's
used to be
for a
replying to
reason.
his stories with the side-eye emoji like, butter, super.
I'm like,
you
I
done went
got
down
you.
the
I'm
hole,
Crying.
Gary.
I'm
What?
crying. If you haven't picked up, I am very strategic.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? That's what I said. Let me shut up. Let me shut the fuck up.
Yep, that's why I tell niggas now. I don't advocate for nobody. This is what you need to do, and if T picks it up, cool. But I'm gonna do my due diligence in getting you the information. You're the only person I'm
If you
like.
submit a shitty
Oh,
guess
wait
assessment
a fucking minute.
form-
What?
That fucking joke.
What joke?
What was that? April Fool's?
Oh.
Fuck y'all. And fuck you, because I text you.
That's
Fuck
her.
y'all.
That was her.
Fuck y'all. Let me explain something to you.
She randomly texted me.
I swear to God, I said this April Fool's.
It wasn't
I said
planned.
this April Fool's. Wait, I said this April Fool's. Wait a minute. These bitches, I said these motherfuckers was just on the carpet last week hugging and shit. I said, nah, man. I said, nah.
I was throwing up Vice Lord.
I said, nah, man. I said, nah. I said, no. And I'm like, I'm a really good judge of character. Like, I be telling people, like, I be knowing if I'm gonna like you in 5 minutes. I'm not fucking lying. And I'm never wrong. I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, Jonesy, what happened? He like, I don't fucking know. I'm in the studio. I'm like,
That's how impromptu it was. I ain't had no like, man, T-ass tripping. Like, I couldn't come up with nothing, bro.
he was like, then he posted, it was all good just a week ago. And I'm like,
Because it was just all good.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, Then, the outside motherfuckers, yeah, because some, people talking shit or whatever. I'm like, man, fuck them. I'm like, no. I'm like, no. I'm like, no. And then when Jonesy ain't even give me no sarcasm, no nothing to go off of, I'm going back and forth and looking at these pages like, did you say anybody want to buy the page?
Yeah.
I ain't see that one.
Yes! That's why I was like, y'all doing too much now.
That
she
is
was
funny.
like, club culture is officially over. Anybody want to buy the page? Some.
I ain't see the page for sale. That is hilarious.
She's selling the page. I'm like, I'm going back and forth. I'm looking. I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, nah. Yeah, y'all pissed me off with that. I know it's late as hell. It ain't even, what's this, August? But fuck y'all. No, September. What is this?
It's September.
Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. Y'all had me mad. I was really, because Jonesy wasn't giving me nothing. And I usually could read his little sarcasm. He said, gee, I'm in the studio. I'm like,
I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know
going on.
what the fuck. I'm in the studio. So yeah, fuck y'all for that.
Gee, when my cousin helped so much with it, he didn't even
even
realize.
know.
He was like, shit. We only know Jonesy anyway. I was like, thank
Fuck
you.
your cousin because he's dead ass serious.
He was dead serious.
He was not a part of the prank.
He was not a part of the prank. That nigga
He
truly.
had white people coming for me too. I'm like, damn.
Gee, that shit.
I
was
seen that. I
crazy.
seen that. I definitely seen. I said, oh. I said, nah. Cause I was like, she would have been like, nah, it's playing now. I don't know. When you what really sold me was where you was selling the page. That's what really sold me. When you went to selling the page, I said, damn. I said, she just announced it was done. I said, she don't want the page no more already? Like, god damn.
You don't want to rebrand it into nothing?
I'm like, she ain't changed the name or nothing? Like, what? She was like, it's over. It's officially over. I'm like, yeah, fuck y'all.
I had a good laugh like a week maybe later. So I had checked my requested messages. It was something like, how much for the page?
Fuck y'all on that one, man. I swear. I know I'm late, but fuck y'all.
I had 12 minutes to come up with troll material. I'm like, nigga.
I don't know. I'm in the studio. I don't know what's going on. I'm in the studio.
I'm like, I'm either finna have a good backstory or I can sell it on Facebook and play stupid.
I was so shitty.
Nothing.
I was shitty at y'all.
That was fun.
Man, yeah, fuck y'all. For real.
I wanted to do it again like the next month. I'm like, can we do another?
It
Can we
been
break up again?
believable.
Nah, it wasn't. That
Jonesy
was
live
funny.
for this shit. He
I
live
know.
for that stuff.
Cause I don't troll no more. And like people think I do, but I'm like, bro, I really don't troll no more.
I
So
think-
anytime I can
I'm
get
telling
it off,
you, the selling the page is what
Getting
got me.
off.
That was the selling the page got me. Everything else, I'm like, And then what you say? You gay anyway? What you say something about?
I'm mad I ain't see the sale page because I would have went
something
behind
about-
it and like, man, y'all come buy this page for $5. It ain't worth shit no way. I would have kept it going or something.
Yes, baby. She was selling the page.
That shit was
When she
funny.
replied and said you gay or you suspect anyway or something, I said, well, goddamn. I said, now y'all do y'all could. Now I might believe it. No, but the selling the page is what really got me though. I promise. That's what got me.
Good times.
But yeah, fuck y'all. All right.
Oh my gosh, man. Well, I had fun. Did you have
I
fun?
did too. Thank y'all so much for letting me come. For real. I'm coming
out
back
here.
next season.
Yeah.
Plug all your socials.
Oh Jesus.
know?
I'm the elephant in the room. So THA, because THE was taken. I ain't that ghetto. So the elephant in the room everywhere. Instagram. On Facebook, I'm Jaleesa Joseph. No, I'm Jaleesa the Elephant. Jaleesa JALEESA. My profile pictures are always really weird. So yes, that's me, Jaleesa the Elephant. Come have fun with me. I be trolling on Facebook, but the elephant in the room everywhere.
Well,
You ain't gonna plug your OnlyFans?
you showed us a
Stop
lot
telling my
of
business.
love throughout this episode. You showed us a lot of love, and I thoroughly appreciate it because I love to have people here that actually genuinely watch the pod and are real supporters of it. Because you can't reminisce with us like this,
Yeah.
and we can all just, you feel me, enjoy just
Yeah, it's like a
The
natural
journey.
flow. Yeah.
We wouldn't have got moments like that if we just had to talk about your shitty mixtape.
Yeah.
You know,
honestly.
wouldn't have got that.
Honestly. But my last question is, what does club culture mean to you?
So one of the episodes that y'all had, I don't remember his name, but he was talking about co-parenting, and I think he was talking about when he took his son to the library.
Is that Tommy?
No. Mike.
I feel like
That
his
is Mike.
episode was so needed for just black men. It was really vulnerable, and it was just it was real. Like I think a lot of times that black men feel like they gotta stay strong, or they gotta like put on that oh, I'm good, I was good, like I'm okay type thing, like almost like black women. You know how they say, we always got to be strong, the strong black women syndrome or whatever. But I feel like we can say we're weak, we're hurt, we can say that in certain spaces. I feel like you guys have really created a space for hard conversations and necessary conversations. It means a lot to me because it's a lot of things that you guys talk about that I feel like I probably would have never been able to hear nowhere else. It means a lot to me also because First of all, who else tells somebody to go get a library card? Like, that's a big thing. I feel like you guys talk to everybody. Like, you talk to the single person, you talk to the person that's in relationships, you talk to the gay, you talk to the straight.
Bring married people on so you can talk to married people.
Yeah, divorced people, how they handled the divorce and everything. Like, I believe that was his episode, right? How you talked about
Tommy,
co-parenting. Okay, so Tommy, his episode, that episode too. I just believe it means a lot to me because you guys are really creating a safe space, and a lot of people use that word, but it's really a safe space to have those conversations where y'all not even agreeing with everybody, but it's a necessary conversation. And sometimes it doesn't have to sit there and be a debate, but it also doesn't have to be a one-sided conversation. Oh yeah, that's deep. Or I don't know if y'all who I'm talking about, the ones that like Melody, and I can't think of their name right now, but it's not, it's substance. It's not just us getting on here talking about the hot topics, us arguing about it, reading a listener letter and arguing about that. It's really a safe space that everybody needs to know about. Like, the conversations that you guys are having, like, if you especially like my audience, if you have not watched any episodes, I encourage you to go back from the beginning. Like, that's what I did when I first started watching. I went back from the beginning, and when I'm missing like a few, like, I'll be talking to Jonesy, and Jonesy will be like, we said that on the episode, and I'm like, when? I'll go listen again, because sometimes I'm listening when I'm at work, and like, when you listening and you doing stuff, you don't necessarily hear everything. I'll be like, I'm caught up, y'all did not say that. So I'll go back and listen again. I'm like, which episode? 2 weeks ago? Okay, let me go. So I'll go listen. Like, I've listened to multiple episodes, multiple times, but it's really, really good, stimulating conversation, and you could definitely talk back to the podcast. So it's a safe space, and it's really a movement. That's why I said I feel like we have to build your community again, because it's definitely people who need to hear this, and also who are enjoying hearing it. They're just not talking to y'all no more, but they're there. We are here. We're here. We're here. Like, seriously, that's what it means to me.
Thank you for that.
You know who we ain't brought back?
Who?
Whoever that magician was you had that
George.
one time.
I'm gonna bring him back. He's been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, man. Let's talk to the magician, man. That's my homie.
You don't know him?
That's still my homie.
Well,
he only like 5 people in the world, so let him have the homie.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
It's fair.
I love this episode. I enjoyed this episode. It was a great way to end season 6, realer than real. We will be taking a very much needed, long, extended pod break.
It's extended this time?
Recalibrate. Figure out some new things and how we want to come back bigger, better, and stronger. So we will see y'all when we see y'all.
And congratulations, y'all made it.
I'm gonna make a mixtape in this break. Coming soon.
Don't listen.
Young Horse Choker dropping soon.
All right. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. And if you're on your favorite streaming platform, thank you for tuning in, and make sure you leave us a rating and join the damn Patreon. Peace.
Just watch the damn podcast.